So that's when the itching stopped.
God damn you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Well done, my friend. Good evening,
you
ladies
opened
and
the door
gentlemen.
for that.
Welcome to Monkey in the Morning. I am your host, the Ranting Monkey. He's Jack. Say hi, Jack.
Hi, everybody.
Jack, this is our Saturday show. I didn't even realize it was Friday today.
I didn't realize it was Friday till I had to go to the bank and they were closed. I was like, son of a bitch.
Wait, bankers don't work on Fridays anymore?
Well, my bank closed early because some reason.
Oh.
And they had a sign up saying that they were going to close early on Friday, like an hour early. And I thought it was Thursday all day.
Oh.
So I'm like, I have an extra hour. And I think there's like a staffing issue at my local branch or whatever. So I couldn't go deposit some money that I was trying to. And it turned into a whole fiasco because that snowballed into like 5 other problems.
Was it a $0 check from Disney?
Shockingly, no. No, they don't pay people. What are you talking about? Just
Real
ask
quick,
Alan Dean Foster.
Let me say thank you to Donald Camp, who became a member. Thank you so very much. That was before the show. Jack, how you feeling tonight?
How am I feeling?
Yeah.
Tired, hot, it's a little sweaty. I'm really tired.
I'm not all that hot, because I don't, but I am a little sweaty, and I've had a fan on me pretty much full blast all day just because it's so stuffy.
Yeah. It's real sticky here, like that humid, muggy, gross.
I should have spent the day outside, but the game Baldur's Gate is going to be releasing soon, and somebody reached out to me to let me know, check the system requirements because this one's a doozy. And so I was playing it, and I got lost. That's why the show's as late as it is, because I got fucking lost playing the game.
Oh, I figured.
It's so much fun, man. It's like the old D&D games, but these are the people who made the game Divinity Original Sin and Divinity Original Sin 2. And they are very big on environmental gameplay, like looking around for traps and shooting electricity into water where a bunch of enemies are standing to help, get rid of them.
Oh, yeah, I did that in BioShock. I'm going to tell you right now, I played like 5 minutes of Baldur's Gate my entire life.
I like D&D games, so I've played most of them that have come to computer.
Yeah, I've played a couple minutes of Baldur's Gate and a couple minutes of Neverwinter Nights, but I've never played any of the others.
Yeah, so I was in here all day instead of outside, where I probably would have been happier.
No, you probably would have been sweating your balls off and like,
I don't mind that.
Some water. I know you're weird. You're
as
the
long
only
as it's
person
not
that
stuffy.
survived Death Valley.
I was outside for a couple of moments today, and there was a slight breeze, and that's all I need. Cryptic, thank you. A Jewish girl asked for my number. I told her we use names now. Wow. Thank you so much for the donation. We have a birthday that we were asked to sing for. The name is Sherry Jack, and it's not Sherry Jack. It's Sherry, Jack. Sherry, this one's for you. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Sherry. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Sherry. Hope you had a good one. Really, really do. So Jack, I was playing the game, and it crashed is the only reason I stopped playing. And I looked at the time and I was like, oh, damn. I should be getting a show ready 2 hours ago. And so I start looking through, the kind of things that I'd be wanting to talk about tonight. And I see that the Republicans got together in Iowa tonight for what is called the Lincoln Day Dinner. All 13 of the candidates, including Donald Trump this time, Jack, got up and gave 10-minute speeches. We're going to watch several of them. Now, here's the thing. I purposefully didn't watch them. This is a live reaction, Jack. We're gonna jump on that trend.
But we're doing it live.
We're doing it live reaction. Okay, I need to be honest. I did watch a little part of one, a little part of another, and I accidentally watched all of Trump's.
Well, I'm going to be very honest with you, too. I had no idea this even happened, so I'm going in raw.
I knew it was coming up. I didn't know it was tonight. I accidentally watched Trump speak. I got tricked into it, Jack. I was looking for video of this where it was just a good, solid chunk of it, so I didn't have to be jumping around or and it's really hard to find it. And I find one that says Trump's Iowa speech, and it's like 2 hours long. I'm like, he gave a 2-hour speech? So I started watching it as I'm doing other stuff, getting the show set up. And suddenly I realize they have his 10-minute speech on a fucking loop. They're just replaying it over and over and over on a YouTube channel right now.
That's one way to pad your hours, I guess.
Fucking jackasses. I wasn't paying attention to it, if that helps. There was very little of it that I actually paid attention to because, like I said, I was getting shit set up. But we are going to start with somebody, I'll be honest with you, I don't know who the hell he is. His name is Will Hurd. Do you know who Will Hurd is?
Sounds familiar. I think we've talked about him before.
I, honest to God, don't know who the hell he is. But he was invited too because he's running for president. Sure. And he gets up there and he's finishing his speech, Jack. Let's make sure we're good here. And this happens.
One of the things we need in our elected leaders, for them to tell the truth, even if it's unpopular.
I don't disagree with that, sir. But if you're on this stage, I don't believe you by default. Is that the wrong way to be about politicians?
I don't know. I don't trust any politicians, so. Real quick. Thank you, Bearing. Just think of me as you have the sexy sex with the bear in Baldur's Gate.
Well, there you go.
No.
Donald Trump is not running for president to make America great again. Donald Trump is not running for president to represent the people that voted for him in 2016 and 2020. Donald Trump is running to stay out of prison. And if we elect... I know.
Okay. No matter what you think of Donald Trump right now, the latest polls have him well over 50% within the Republican Party.
Yeah. His numbers just keep getting better.
And this guy, look, I'm going to get up here and say Donald Trump's running to stay out of prison. Here, let me help you out, homie. If Donald Trump didn't run, he probably wouldn't be facing any actual legal repercussions.
Yeah, I don't think any of this would have been going on except maybe the Eugene Carroll suit.
Yeah, that one. I mean, that one was going on while he was president. They were trying to push that through.
Yeah,
but
all this new charges.
Yeah,
no, this was a stupid thing to say.
I know. Listen, I know the truth. The truth is hard. But if we elect Donald Trump, we are willingly giving Joe Biden 4 more years in the White House, and America can't handle that.
This idiot's lucky that,
and God.
This idiot's lucky they didn't rush the stage.
Right?
Dumbass.
Somebody throwing shoes or something. Yeah.
Bless America.
Yeah, pay no attention to the fact that, as far as I know, Trump is still beating Biden in the polls. Yeah, so that's Will Hurd deciding that he really doesn't want to be president. Sure.
Is he actually running, or is it?
I think he was running just to say he's running and to be a contrarian and hate Trump.
That sounds right. Yeah, somebody said dude was CIA. Yeah, screw him. This guy's an idiot. Like, talk about shooting your political career in the foot. What's the point of that? I mean, that's like Chris Christie's entire campaign is screw Trump. You're going to appeal to a very small portion, obviously, of the base.
I don't know if Chris Christie showed up tonight. I'm sorry, you said his name, and I just realized I don't know if I saw him on here.
It'd be hard to miss him. Maybe he was with some food trucks, and he thought was one of them.
He missed his 10 minutes. We are going to be watching this on a channel called RSBN, Right Side Broadcast Network, over on the Rumble. I want to thank them for recording these, and they broke them up by the speeches themselves, so I don't have to watch the whole thing. Nice. Yeah. Guys, give them a follow. The links are in the description of both the Rumble and the YouTube. Check them out. Frankly, this shit should have been carried on MSNBC, CNN, C-SPAN. All of them should have been covering this shit. The broadcast networks, okay, fine. I don't think they have to cover this kind of thing, but the major news networks of cable should have.
Yeah, but this is kind of their thing, is they don't want a Republican to win, and you don't want to get their ideas out there because people might vote for them and be like, hey, I agree with that.
Yeah, before this video, if you looked up the 2023 Lincoln Day dinner, the longest story I saw from any major network was like 3 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Real quick, thank you, Vault Potato. This is your speech where I talk about Trump unless it's saying what you can do better than he can. This is just giving Trump more support from the people that think this is a hit job on Trump. Yeah, you're just reinforcing the base that are going to vote for him anyway.
Like I said, I don't know this guy. I'll take y'all's word for it that he's CIA. You're CIA, former CIA. Yeah, like there's a former in that.
Yeah.
And you're going to get up there and say the only reason he's doing, all you're doing is helping all the conspiracy theories about the deep state. Literally, that's it.
Yeah, and you're making people hate the Republicans even more. Because the Republican base is already disenchanted with the Republican Party because they're lazy and useless. Even McCarthy came out and said they're not going to do the impeachment inquiry thing into Biden anymore. This just reinforces that fact. Like, why would you give the RNC any money when all the operatives are against one of their own candidates?
All right, so we are going to go through this, and we're going to start with Nikki Haley. I don't think Nikki Haley has a rat's ass chance of winning this. I'm just going to be honest with you. I think most of these people who were up on the stage tonight have no chance. Here's a list of people. It's Nikki Haley, Asa Hutchinson, Ron DeSantis, Tim Scott, Doug Burgum. He's a governor, I forget of where. Perry Johnson, who I have no idea who he is. Mike Pence, Will Hurd, Francis Suarez, Ryan Binkley, Larry Elder, and Donald Trump, and Vivek Ramaswamy.
Yeah, like half these people I've never heard of.
Yeah, and most of them
we pay attention to the news too.
Yeah, and most of them have absolutely no chance in hell. But we're going to give a few of them a watch just because. Look, I think two things here, Jack. I screwed up and didn't have a show ready to go. Let's be honest, that's part of it. Larry Elder's running for president. Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Yeah, he does it every time. Like 4 elections.
He announced just the other day that he's doing, trying to get on the debate stage, which you have to have 40,000 individual donors. There's a whole bunch of weird shit going on with how the Republicans are doing this, but I saw him talking about it on Twitter. I do follow Larry on Twitter. He's got no shot in hell.
No, but this is more promotion for him because he had a book come out recently, and he's got a radio show, so it's more about keeping his name in the news kind of thing.
He could be also one of the folks angling for a cabinet position.
Yeah, that's always a possibility. So yeah,
government work's good work if you can get it. I mean, unless you're in the military.
Yeah.
And then it's hard, unrewarding work that still needs done, and thank God for him. Anyhow, so like I said, we are going to be starting with Miss Nikki Haley this evening. And she's one of the ones I told you I heard a little bit of a couple of people.
Mm-hmm.
I heard the start of hers, and that's the only reason we're listening to her. Because otherwise, like I said, she's got no chance in hell. But let's listen to Nikki. Oh shit, I'm gonna have to watch commercials, aren't I?
How to escape.
Ah, damn it. Hang on a second, y'all. I got to stop sharing my screen for these. Jack, I got to set these up and watch the commercials off screen.
Oh, you'd like that, wouldn't you? Hogging the commercial for yourself.
I have to remind myself of that each time. Here we go. Da-da-da-da-da. Don't worry, they don't get anything by me playing their commercials. Here we are.
Welcome, Ambassador Nikki Haley.
Dream as big as we want to. We all get a chance. Everybody gets to.
I'd like to thank the Republicans for making sure that I get demonetized on Twitter or on YouTube for this one. Appreciate it.
Dance.
It's great to be here. You know, I just told your great governor, I think we were thinking alike when we both wore the strong red. You know how to grow strong women, that's for sure. We see that with Kim Reynolds. We see it with Joni Ernst. We see it with Marionette. We see it with Ashley. Y'all continue to understand that. So I will tell you this now. Just stop with me and we're done. You don't need to watch anybody else.
She's already spent like 30 seconds of her speech. She gets 10 minutes. Just name dropping women in the crowd and talking fashion.
You like those women? I'm a woman, right?
I get it. You got to, personalize things a bit, and you guys just need to stop right here with me. You don't got to listen to nobody else. All right, Nikki. For some people, it's going to be the first time they've seen her talk.
They obviously never saw the arrest video.
Well, yeah.
Or the DUI, I guess it was. She didn't actually get arrested, I don't think.
Everybody was complaining it was hot in Iowa. And I said, well, we're used to being hot. And they said, well, yeah, but when you walk outside, you immediately start sweating. And I said, well, in South Carolina, we don't sweat, we glisten. I don't need to tell you how bad things.
She knows she's running for president, right?
Well, yeah, open with a joke, soften them up, and then nobody laughs, and then you're kind of fucked.
If you're going to do this, it's got to be funny. All right. Hey, Nikki, I don't know if anybody told you this, but women ain't funny.
No.
Hashtag not all.
I don't need to tell you how bad things are. You don't have to turn on the news to see it.
But you're running for president, so it helps you if you do tell them so that you can say, this is how I'm going to fix X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
I'll have to tell you how bad okay. That's a choice. I mean, that is a choice.
It's strategy. It's just not a good one.
You could have spent that first minute telling people how bad things were and what you were going to do to fix it.
I don't know.
Frosted said, what's the deal with airline food, right? Since she doesn't care about her candidacy, neither do I. So this is a good time to bring up that we're brought to you by you. Hit the like button, hit the share button. If you would, consider donating to Jack or myself at the Streamlabs link provided in your descriptions and in the YouTube chat. Thank you guys for being here. Settle in. It's going to be a night. This may turn out to be my worst show ever, Jack. I should have vetted these because these are a lot of old people.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's kind of difficult because even if you vet them, I mean, we're still going to have to talk about them.
Yeah. At least she's not doing the Howard Dean yell. I just want to remind people again that the Howard Dean yell was not the end of his candidacy. That it had already ended before that. That was him losing his mind because it had ended. Just nobody told poor Howard.
He kind of knew, but didn't want to admit it to himself. And that was why it sounded sad when he was like, yeah.
I remember this was back in my days when I was on the Bill Maher boards all the time. When I watched that yell, I was like, what the hell did he just do? And all of the liberals on there like, what? He was making a rebel yell. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Like, did we watch the same thing?
A buddy of mine was working for his campaign.
And
he's like, yeah, nobody thought it was that big of a deal. But the media blew it out of proportion. I'm like, no, not
No.
really. It was just a dumb thing to do and made him look stupid.
Talking trash and truth. Thank you so much for that gifted sub going out to Frosted Glass. Appreciate it, my friend.
Woo.
All right, back to, I don't have to tell you anything except bad jokes here.
We are $32 trillion in debt. We're having to borrow money just to make our interest payments. I would love to say Biden did that to us, but I've always spoken hard truths, and I'm going to do that with you today. Our Republicans did that to us too.
True.
You go back and look at that $2.2 trillion COVID stimulus bill that they passed with no accountability, that expanded welfare, that has now left us with 90 million Americans on Medicaid, 42 million Americans on food stamps. And did Republicans try and make it right? Nope. They doubled down and opened up earmarks again for the first time in 10 years, pushing through 7,000 of them. Things like an honors college in Vermont, horse racing in Arizona, tearing down a hotel in Alaska, and the list goes on. All while 1 in 6 American families can't pay their utility bill. 60% of Americans are on credit card debt.
Okay. I guess the credit card debt there, she's saying that is because people don't have money. That's not exactly a government problem. No offense. Certainly not because of the $32 trillion debt.
She would have been better off linking that to like high gas prices. Like people are having to use their credit cards to buy gas because Biden inflated it so much. Something like that. I think that would have made more sense.
And going after the 2.7 trillion, look, I think that was a fucking horrible thing. We talked about it at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I did not support that. I still think it was a bad idea. However, that only takes care of like the last 2 trillion of that 30 odd trillion.
Yeah, well, she didn't talk about George W. Bush or Obama.
Endless wars. Yeah.
Social Security will go bankrupt in 10 years.
All right. I just have to stop there with the Social Security will go bankrupt in 10 years. Jack, how long have they been telling us that?
Like 30 years.
At least since I was in my early teens. Been hearing, no, there's not going to be 10 years. That's all we got left on. They always find a way to keep it going. I'm not saying it won't eventually, but you've cried wolf on that so many times, Republicans. Either fix it or shut the hell up.
Or stop spending that money and putting in IOUs.
Lock down the lockbox, absolutely.
Yeah, which is what it was supposed to have been in the first place, but we all knew that wasn't going to happen.
Nope.
Anybody that paid any attention to government knew that wasn't going to happen. But, maybe stop spending it and stop giving Medicaid to illegal immigrants and other people that shouldn't qualify.
Medicare will go bankrupt in 8. You look at our education system and you see that our 13-year-olds are at the lowest levels of reading and math that they've been in decades.
Why?
And then you go and you look at the border. And I know Kamala's here in Iowa.
See, that bothers me. She doesn't have to tell us what's wrong. 13-year-olds can't read and write. Why? That's an important question.
Mm-hmm.
It's because they're pushing everything but reading and writing on the kids.
Yeah. The teachers union has way too much influence and power.
Yep.
But I bet you she hadn't spent near as much time at the border as she spent in Iowa talking about abortion. I've been to that border. The idea that those ranchers get up first thing in the morning and go see if anyone died crossing the fence. They pick up whatever little kids were left behind and they turn them over to Border Patrol. They arrest whoever they can get before 7 a.m. Border Patrol gets them, they document them, and release them until their court date years from now.
The kids?
I think she means all illegals, but yeah, probably the kids. Like, all right, move along, kid. You're on your own, fucker.
Yeah, but the way that she said it, it sounds like they're turning like 3-year-old. All right, we got you marked down. Come back in 6 months for yours.
When you ask Border Patrol about their job, they said, you want to know what we do? We're glorified babysitters. They don't let us do our job. 5.5 million illegal immigrants have crossed that border. Enough fentanyl has crossed the border that would kill every single American last year.
Somebody's telling me to check my description. Might want to change the link. If I accidentally put the one in on YouTube for this, I'll change it later. I'm not worried about it. You guys can try to get in here, but unless I let you in, this isn't the old days. So if you want to just sit in the back room, I don't give a shit.
We might make fun of you.
Number one.
I will absolutely make fun of him. I don't want to lie to him, Jack.
Cause of death for adults 18 to 39, fentanyl. And don't think for a second China doesn't know what they're doing when they send it over. So we've got some work to do. And I'll tell you what I told South Carolinians when I became governor. No more whining. No more complaining. Now we get to work. How do we fix it? Let's claw back the $500 billion of unspent COVID dollars that are out there.
That's great. But 500 billion is nothing. It's literally nothing with 32 trillion in debt.
Yeah, is she going to talk about how we should scale back the size of government, stop sending money overseas?
Yeah.
Maybe get rid of public sector unions that the founders didn't want us to have.
Look, she's not wrong. Yes, get that money back. I don't know why they keep acting like that. It's unspent money. Well, if it's unspent money, that means the government still has it. All you got to do is cancel that shit.
Yeah. No, they gave it to somebody. They just haven't spent it yet. Sitting in a bank account somewhere.
Instead of 87,000 IRS agents, let's go after the hundreds of billions of dollars of COVID fraud that exists. If 8% of our budget is interest, quit borrowing, cut up the credit cards. Republicans and Democrats have a spending addiction in D.C.
You have a spending addiction.
Yeah, no
do
shit.
what your great Governor Kim Reynolds did. Let's make sure our kids can read by the 3rd grade. Let's have complete transparency in the classroom, and let's let parents decide where their kids should go to school.
You know my problem with this, Jack? It's not that I disagree with much of what she's even saying there. I mean, there's, wiggle room and stuff, but I've been hearing this shit for 30 years.
Yeah, these are the same tired talking points. This is nothing new. There's no actual plan. It's just, here's some ideals we'd like to get across to at some point.
We did have a tard jump in the green room, just saying.
When it comes to the border, we'll do what we did in South Carolina, but we'll take it national. We'll do a national E-Verify program. We'll put 25,000 Border Patrol and ICE agents on the ground. And
all right, I hear you. But you can't compare what South Carolina is going through with the actual folks down at the border. That's nah.
let them do their job. We'll defund sanctuary cities, and instead of catch and release, we'll go to catch and deport. So we have the answers of what we need. But look at all of those issues, and DC hasn't handled any of them.
True, fair.
That's why we have to have term limits in DC once and for all.
No.
That's never going to happen. That's just a lazy talking point. Because no matter what you say, there's no Congress on earth going to vote themselves out of jobs.
Even if they did, all you're going to do is get new assholes in there. There's a decent chunk of these guys that get voted out on a regular basis, Jack, and we just get a new asshole in there.
Monkey, I'm going to ask you to stop trying to arouse Lindsey Graham.
He likes the new assholes.
Oh, new assholes.
This is the talking point that people love so much, and if you put any thought into it, here's what you're going to do. Instead of people at least understand the parliamentary procedure, right? They understand it. You're going to get in dumb people who are also crooked as shit. You really want to clean this shit up? Start prosecuting people who have done illegal shit. How about that?
Good luck with that.
It is against the law. I don't know if you know this, Jack, but stolen valor is against the law.
Yep.
We have a sitting senator who pulled that shit.
Yeah, Blumenthal.
Yep.
No, he's a nobility. He can't be persecuted. I mean, held to the same standard as everybody else, because he's one of our sophisticated betters, Monkey. Haven't you heard? He's better than us.
Stop making excuses when you have somebody like Mitch McConnell who glitches out in the middle of a fucking conversation. And just when that happens, be like, you need to leave. You need to quit, period. Put the pressure on until they do. Vote their ass out within Congress. You cannot do your job. You're out.
It sounds like responsibility, Monkey. And again, they are our betters. They know better than us. They're better than us. They're better looking. They're richer. They're smarter. Ergo, they are just better. And we need to accept that.
Oh, and if you really, really want to help, Nikki, make it easier for third parties to run.
Oh, yeah, that'll happen.
You want to take care of this whole people are in Congress too long? Get third and fourth parties up in that bitch, where they have a decent chance, where there's not this giant hurdle they got to jump over, which is gatekeeping that's been put in place by the Democrats and Republicans since the beginning. Anyhow.
Real quick. Thank you, Cryptic. Sir, we're mining too many useless mineral ores. Hitler. Mine less then. Grammar Nazi person. Mine fewer. Hitler looks over. Yes. Get it?
I got it. Mine fewer. Yes.
That was funny.
That is funny.
And if this week didn't prove it to you, we've got to have mental competency tests for anyone over the age of 75.
I'm sorry. Why?
What about Fettermonster?
Thank you. All right. Over 75. Yeah, fine. What about the rest of the fuckers in there?
Yeah. Hank Johnson, really? You think he's cognizant of, like, is
No.
he even? I think that man's a robot.
That's not being disrespectful. These are people who are making decisions on our national security. They're making decisions on our economic policy.
That's fair, but why do you stop at 75 when Fetterman's there?
Yeah. There should be a lot of reasons to have a competency test, like somebody had a stroke,
and
like Fetterman.
And it needs to be in some kind of way that they can't do what Biden has obviously done. What Reagan did. Reagan, there's no doubt he had Alzheimer's in the last couple of years of it, at least the last couple of years.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Doctor just came out and went, no, he's fine.
Yep. They shouldn't be able to hide that shit.
No, and they're doing the same thing with Biden. Put shit on national television when he takes the test.
That shit goes back to FDR, though, with his paralysis.
Yep. But at least with paralysis of your legs, you can still think. I mean,
yeah,
he was an idiot, but you know what I mean.
He's a commie.
Uh-oh.
What?
That's thunder. All right.
These aren't tough tests. This is, you say the word that matches, you say, tell me 4 words that start with the letter A. What town were you born in? How many grandchildren do you have?
Did you see this? Apparently Biden mentioned Navy today.
Yes. I think the polling was making him look bad. Well, it took him 4 fucking years. That kid's like almost old enough to go to school.
Right? She's proud of herself. By the way, it's fine to talk over this.
I don't know what y'all are laughing at. We need to start getting DC in order. But Biden has proven to be incredibly weak, and Kamala is not up for the job. And I will continue to say a vote for Joe Biden is a vote for Kamala Harris. That's who we're actually running against. We have to make sure she doesn't win. And when you look at our national security,
I'm going to say this. If anybody on Biden's team has a fucking brain, if he makes it to the election, they do not bring Kamala with him.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, I think that would be the smart move, but I'm still not sure he's actually running.
You get her out of there. You bring in Newsom. You bring in little gay Pete, somebody else, because she is a fucking disaster.
Well, Pete's not much better after the whole debacle with the transportation and shortages. So I think Newsom would be the way to go, and that would be kind of explaining why he's out giving speeches all over the place.
But if Joe's like, I'm thinking of replacing you, she'll just be like, have you seen this move?
I don't know. Can he even get it up? She'll just be like, you want to smell my hair? It smells like little girl.
Did you see? Oh my God. Now I got to look it up. Was that sent to me in private? I can't remember. I get so many things. And I appreciate it all, guys. Still better to send it to the hashtag because I'm more likely to see it. But it's Joe Biden. It's a meme, Jack. It's a meme.
A May?
A May. Oh, here it is.
All for the Mays.
I'm just we'll switch screens for a moment. I swear I thought it was buying Viagra from the Chinese. They said, you give us money, we fix erection for you.
That's true.
It is true. That's exactly what happened. He thought he was just getting a boner. All right, so let's finish out with Nikki here. You can talk over her. Don't feel like you have to. She ain't going to say anything groundbreaking.
Yeah, it was just kind of dumb.
The fact that we've got a Chinese spy balloon going over our country. You've got Russia invading Ukraine. You've got China on the march. You've got North Korea testing ballistic missiles and Iran building a bomb. But none of that would have happened had we not had that debacle in Afghanistan.
I don't think you can actually say that.
No, they overall see us as weak.
Yeah,
it's that was just evidence. That wasn't any instigation thing.
It didn't help. I mean,
oh, of course not.
But yeah, as soon as Biden got in there, they all knew it was. I mean, Trump's like, "Here's my dick. Let's measure," and they're like, "Biden will never do that." So,
no, he's not only the safer, more demented candidate, but he was also apparently on the take. So. Maybe China was like, hey, we own this guy.
Thank you, Keldry. Camel Toe's waiting in the shadows with a gun so Joe can shoot himself twice in the back. She probably is.
She just needs to push him up the stairs.
How do you think those stairs keep getting so slippery?
Yeah.
Combat veteran. He deployed to Afghanistan. The idea that we left Bagram Air Force Base in the middle of the night without telling our allies who stood shoulder to shoulder with us for decades because we asked them to be there. Think about what that told our friends. More importantly, think about what that told our enemies. And when you look at China and the threat that
that's not why we shouldn't have left Bagram in the middle of the night. We never should have left Bagram.
No, we should be like, that's ours now. Thanks.
And especially if we're talking about a withdrawal, if you're going to do that, you do it from there where you have some safety rather than a, random airport.
You and your smart thinking.
They're literally infiltrating our country. They have been planning war with us for years. We've got to snap out of it. And Biden's not the one to do it. So while we have those issues, we know how to fix this. Do you remember when you were growing up?
Yeah.
No.
How simple life was?
Yeah.
How safe it felt?
No. No, because they were always telling me that there was somebody waiting to pull me in a van and rape me. They started preaching that shit to us pretty young.
Yeah.
Especially after that Adam kid went missing.
Yeah.
It was about faith, family, and country. Your parents raised you to be a responsible individual.
Well, let's not get carried away.
I mean, I don't know how old the crowd is that she's talking to.
You learned what it meant to be successful. You went to church and you found your faith and your conscience. Don't you want that again? Because we could have that again.
You're going to give us church back?
You know, 3 weeks ago, I dropped my husband off.
And I told him we don't have time for that now, baby.
No, wrong chick.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that one's hotter.
Another year-long deployment. And I watched him and 230 soldiers pick up their 2 duffel bags and load a bus to go to a country they'd never been.
Pretty sure that they're not busting it over there. They'll probably get on like a military aircraft. I'm just saying.
Maybe. No, they're on the bus go wheels. On the bus go round and round, round and round.
Stevie said I would take a nuclear holocaust over this speech. I probably should have stopped watching her a while ago. But I have a bad habit of, not being able to stop and then just talking about stupid shit she says. It's not a horrible speech. It's just not a good speech. It's boring. It is very boring. You're already way down. You probably have some of the best name recognition of the field. Outside of Trump and DeSantis, Nikki Haley, especially in people, with people who follow politics, probably has the best name.
And the fact that she was a UN ambassador does help quite a bit.
UN ambassador, former governor. She's got some bona fides, but she's just giving this isn't even a red meat speech. This is just a talking point speech.
Yeah, it's just boilerplate, nothing original here. The solutions are all the same. It's just incredibly predictable, paint by numbers.
Real quick, Stevie, I knew what you meant. I was just talking about the fact that I keep watching. I should have stopped the speech already. We have several more to go.
All in the name of defending and protecting America. They were willing to sacrifice their lives.
And I appreciate it.
Real quick. Thank you, Keldrick. She tried the stairs. Clearly that isn't working. She's got to be more direct now. Was she buying him another dog? Assassin dog. It's a beagle wandering around.
Yeah, terrible. Yeah, it's just not a good speech. It's really not.
To sacrifice their lives and their families.
Uh-huh.
Because they still believe in this amazing experiment that is America. So if they're willing to fight for us there, we should be willing to fight for America here.
That's a good line, actually. That's a really good line.
Yeah, she probably stole it from somebody.
Yeah, that was written for her. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This whole thing was written for her.
But in order to do that, it's going to take a lot of courage. Courage for me to run. And courage for everyone.
It doesn't take courage for you to run.
Not really, no. But she's got to make herself look stunning and brave. Look, everything about this is incredibly generic. This could be any campaign speech for the last 30 years in the U.S.
Of you to remember, don't complain about what we get in a general election if you don't play in this caucus. It matters. Someone asked me why I was running. And I said, my parents came here 50 years ago to an America that was strong and proud and full of opportunities. I want them to know that country again. I'm doing this for my husband, Michael, and his military brothers and sisters because they need to know their sacrifice means something. They need to know that we do love our country.
If she becomes president, does he have to leave the military? Isn't that some kind of conflict of interest?
Don't know. Maybe.
Huh. Because technically she'd be his boss.
Yeah, and then she would be sexually harassing him all the time.
Yeah. All right.
Doing this for my daughter who just got.
Although there is that line from A Few Good Men. It's like, there's nothing sexier than sleeping with a woman you have to salute in the morning. I'd be a little jealous of him, honestly.
Married.
Well, he'd be doing it for the country.
It was for
Damn
her
right.
and her husband to buy a home. And I'm doing this for my son because I have watched how hard it is for him in the fact that he's having to write papers of things he doesn't believe in just to get an A. That's not us. That's not America. And now 78% of Americans say that they don't think their kids are going to live as good of a life as we did. We can't be okay with that. I'm not okay with that. We have a country to save. But if we pull
such
together,
a generic speech.
if we commit and we remember that even on our worst day, we're blessed to live in America, I promise you, our best days are yet to come. So
no, that's stupid. If you remember that even on our worst day, you're blessed to live in America, all that says is, well, it's worse elsewhere, so I guess I'm not going to bitch too much. Am I wrong?
Yeah, but our best days are yet to come. Isn't that a line from Reagan?
It's only just begun. I don't know.
Oh, that's the Carpenters.
Yes, it is. I watched somebody do a reaction to them today, so that's stuck in my head.
That's a good song. It's a shame that Mama Cass ate the whole sandwich instead of sharing it with Karen.
Yeah, Mama Cass overeats, poor Karen, undereats. All right. Next up, we're not going to watch much of this one. I just want to see how he starts it. Maybe he'll blow me away. I doubt it. But Asa Hutchinson is up next, Jack.
Yeah, what a waste.
I'm bringing him up just because I can't believe he's running.
I can't believe anybody remembers who this dude is.
All right.
Governor Asa Hutchinson.
You already got me on copyright. It's all right.
It's great to be back in Iowa. This is my 13th trip here since January.
So?
Are you running drugs? What are you hanging out in Iowa for?
We're not your fucking travel agent, dude.
Yeah, nobody cares.
And it's good to be back. I know there's nothing magical.
They're probably like, go away again.
Yeah.
About 13, but it just happens to be that tonight. So make it our lucky night. I'm glad to be with you.
13's not a lucky number, dickhead.
Just ask anybody with trichectophobia.
You're thinking of 7 or 3.
Or
not
pretty
13.
Much any number other than 13.
And I'm looking forward to coming back to the Iowa State Fair. My wife, Susan, will be joining me for that occasion.
So I need my
and
girlfriend
this year
not
we'll
to
be
show
celebrating our 50th wedding anniversary.
Oh, God, nobody cares about your biography, dude.
I actually dated her hitchhiking across America. I don't recommend that to you, but that's how we started, and it lasted. And
did he just tell us that he kidnapped his wife?
Maybe. Or he was
she,
like dodging something. Like, what are you, Bruce Banner?
She kidnapped him. I mean, they just happened to meet up on the road and were hitchhiking. I don't care.
Yeah, 2 random hippie hobos milling around. Fuck off. Nobody cares.
Some wonderful, happy years together. And I want you to know, I know how many grandchildren I have. I have 7.
There's 2 grandchildren jokes.
I also want to express my appreciation to Governor Kim Reynolds. What an incredible job she's done. And her and the General Assembly here in Iowa that passed the heartbeat bill. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for protecting the life of the unborn and standing for life. In Arkansas, I signed over 30 pro-life bills. Arkansas was known as the #1 pro-life state in the nation. I did that as governor, and let me tell you, if I'm president of the United States, I will be a pro-life president.
As opposed to a pro-death president?
The thing is, look, you can be a pro-life president all you want to, but the chance of a bill coming across your desk that has anything to do with abortion is pretty slim.
Yeah. It's a safe statement because it's already been decided by the Supreme Court. I mean, that's the 10-year-old talking point again.
Who is he? He's a former governor of Arkansas. That's it.
Not the one that
You
murders
speak of
people.
No.
values. I also reflect back to growing up on the farm. Near Gravette, Arkansas, cattle poultry farm, simple life. My mom and dad had high school educations, but they also taught us the value of work, the importance of faith, helping your neighbors, and responsibility.
Oh, dear God.
Those are values you can only learn on the farm.
What?
Yeah, while you're inseminating a cow, you learn the value of family.
You can't learn that anywhere but on the farm.
Yes, correct.
Cattle poultry sounds like some awesome wings. Yeah, no doubt. Are them
Wouldn't it
beef
be great
wings?
if we had a president of the United States that understood small town Iowa farm values and how important a farm
All right,
bill
I'm getting Scranton vibes here.
Oh my God, he's boring.
is to the agricultural community in this state. I applaud what you do, and we need to continue to support agriculture.
Okay.
I'm looking forward, as I said, to being at the Iowa State Fair. I also want to tell you that I was looking forward to being in the debate in Milwaukee. And it's important for me to be there as well as the other candidates.
Apparently.
My website is asa2024.com. Yes, we could use your dollar. The key.
Asa.
That's just shameless. Wow. I mean, I almost respect that because I'm running for president. This is the most passionate thing I've ever heard.
Ladies and gentlemen, we could also use your dollar. Hit that like button, hit the share button if you can and are so inclined. Please donate to Jack or myself. Don't give money to these shitbags we're watching. They have plenty already.
Yeah.
Key to being on the debate is you're in a pocket tonight. And so help us to get there.
That's what I was talking about. They need 40,000 individual donors. There's the one guy who is giving out, I think it's $10 gift cards if you go to his site and donate at least $1.
Nothing like
True
buying
story.
votes.
Yep.
We go on and transition to these are very serious times in which we live.
But you grew up on a farm.
They're serious times because we have an administration right now led by Joseph Biden that has given us a failed policies for the border, and we have no border security. It's a serious time because we have an economy that is struggling. And this last week, they announced that we're going to have higher interest rates.
Yeah, they did announce the highest interest or higher interest rates, but we did get GDP growth, Jack. So we pulled out of our recession a little bit.
I'll believe it when I see it.
It impacts your pocketbook, your mortgage payment, your ability of your children to buy their first home. And so we have to get the economy back on track.
One of the best things to do there is to stop printing money, which they also have recently decided they're going to do.
Yeah, good luck with
It's
that
a
one.
result of too much spending by the Biden administration. This administration has given us a weak energy policy in which they put all green above all of the above in energy sources. We need to reverse that. And yes, they've given us, with our help, a $32 trillion debt that we're looking at leaving to our children and to our grandchildren.
I will say this. I'm done with this idiot.
Yes,
I am glad to see them actually talking about the debt again.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is like $1 trillion a year now that we're paying.
It has been a long time since they got in there and be like, hey, the debt is a problem. And it is. It's eventually going to catch up to us. It's just how it works.
Yeah. Well, they'll come up with a nice war to distract everybody. Sorry about that. Sounds like he's just reading cue cards, though. This is really, really boring. Oh, I could claim a Trump knife.
All right. Here's the other one that I watched the first part of. We have the governor of Florida, Ronald DeSantis. And he's the first one I saw come out with bad jokes. I'm just going to let you know right off the bat. And from what I saw of this, it's what I think is DeSantis's biggest drawback is he just seems so stiff when he's up giving a speech.
Yeah.
Thank you, Wolfgang, who says, for Mother Russia. Appreciate it.
Governor Ron DeSantis.
You give all the Mother Russia money to me. Remember, there's sanctions. That's some good banjo.
You're going to have like 5 people vying over the 10 cents that you're going to make from ad revenue.
Right.
And Joe Biden back to his basement in Delaware on a permanent vacation. I can promise you this, in my White House, there will be no cocaine allowed in the White House. And look, my son's only 5 years old, so he's not going to be lining his pockets with money from foreign governments. So don't worry about that.
You don't know that. Some Ukrainian's going to give him a nickel and be, yes, this is from Ukraine.
For God's sake. And I don't know, watch how quickly he goes from subject to subject. It's like he doesn't pause for the end of a sentence. There's no pause. He just goes right into his next one.
Yeah, he always seems like he's trying to remember what to say. And everybody else sounds like they're just reading, yeah, vote for me or something, whatever, give me money.
At least he's got some fire in it. I mean, I don't know how you have fire in your voice and no charisma, but he's doing it.
Well, I mean, got to have something.
Not going to be lining his pockets with money from foreign governments. So don't worry about that. It's great to be here. I want to thank Chairman Kaufman. I want to thank all the great legislators in the state of Iowa for their great work. And I want to commend your outstanding governor, Kim Reynolds, for her leadership leading this great state. Our country is in decline, and Joe Biden is the custodian of that decline.
Fair.
I'm running for president because we as Republicans cannot be content with simply managing the decline of our country a little bit better than the Democrats.
All right. I hear you. Jack, the problem is even if you got a really good Republican president, you got to do something about the Republican Congress people.
Oh, you mean the shiftless layabouts that do nothing except post for photo ops and talk a lot? Yeah, good luck with that.
You really want to win me over? Tell me how you're going to just browbeat the fuck out of those guys into actually doing what they're elected for.
That's not going to happen.
That's what presidents used to do. They would pick up the phone and be like, bitch, why are you not doing this? You know, you ran on this. I will get you out of office, fucker. The last person we saw like that was Trump. And people were, oh, how dare he be like that?
Yeah. Well, the Republicans are a bunch of pussy little crybabies.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But anyway, I don't mean to keep interrupting these guys. Well, I do, but it's not important.
We must reverse American decline. We must restore this country to greatness, and we must provide our country with a new birth of
Should have
freedom.
went with the red tie.
To do that requires vision. It requires.
This looks like a suit you're buried in.
Yeah, it kind of does. Yeah, that tie just isn't working. What is that,
Which
silver?
is not a good thing when he's, on the decline like he is. You need to come out in a power tie, man.
Yeah, he should have had a blue blazer with a white shirt and a red tie.
Yeah.
Red, white, blue.
And now, look, that might seem a little bit petty, but it's really not. That's part of the optics.
Yeah.
It's part of the optics.
Unfortunately, too many people devote only to the optics of like, well, I like the look of that guy. I'm voting for him.
Yep.
Because we have a very dumb culture these days.
Courage, and it requires leadership. That's exactly what we did in the state of Florida. Everything I promised people I would do, we did. And we delivered more than what we promised. We expanded Second Amendment rights. We enacted the heartbeat bill. We cut taxes by $2.7 billion. We have paid down 25% of our state's debt. We have the #1 rated economy in the country, #1 in new business formations. We have eliminated critical race theory from our K through 12 schools. We have enacted a parents' bill of.
I just want to. Did you notice where he got his applause line?
Yeah.
This is what I told his campaign weeks ago. You guys, your strength is the culture war. Beat that fucking drum if you actually are serious, because that's where you're winning. And I think right now he's doing a fine job. Go out there, tell people what you've accomplished. But, and like I said, I haven't seen any more of this, Jack. I only watched the first couple of moments when he made his really bad jokes.
Yeah.
Tell people how you're going to do that on the national level. This is your 10 minutes, man.
Of rights to protect the rights of parents. And we have held criminals accountable by enacting the death penalty for pedophiles. And our crime rate is at a 50-year low. And when it came time to deal with the COVID-19 pandemic, we refused to let the state of Florida descend into some type of Faucian dystopia. We stood strong against the mob, against the left, against the bureaucracy, and
not exactly, Ronnie. At the beginning, like everybody else, you did the lockdowns and shit. Own that and say we saw the mistake of it and then fixed it. Just being honest.
We fought for our people's rights. We fought for their jobs. We fought to have our kids in school. And as a result, the state of Florida has never done better. We will deliver those results in Washington.
But how?
We will repeal Bidenomics so that middle-class people actually have a chance to get.
That was a mistake. The Bidenomics thing is a propaganda thing that the Biden administration is trying to do.
Yeah,
it should not be acknowledged by anybody on the right. Go ahead. I'm sorry, bud.
Yeah, don't use their own words. Don't let them set the definitions. Just say, look, Biden's economic plan is a complete, absolute failure. We're going to undo all that. Don't refer to it as Bidenomics, because then you're giving him a win.
Yep. Just call it the Biden economic policies, whatever, but not Bidenomics. No. That is a bad move.
Get ahead in this country again. We will stop the Congress from borrowing and spending this country into oblivion. We need a balanced budget amendment to the U.S. Constitution. We need term limits for members of Congress so that we can have a citizen legislature again. We will get the bureaucracy off the back of small businesses in this country. And I'm going to issue an order to all agencies in D.C. to reduce their D.C. footprint by at least 50%.
Ooh.
Yeah. What are you going to do about cleaning house at the FBI there, buddy?
Is that him picking up on Ramaswamy's 75% thing?
Probably, but he's just going to move them out of DC. He's not saying that to fire people.
Well, and that's part of what he said. He said their DC footprint. Part of the problem is they're not just in DC. They've got offices all over the country. All right. What was it that Ray told us? 52, 58 different field offices for the FBI?
At least, yeah.
Yeah,
more than that.
I forget the number that he said, but because he said I visited all 52 or 58. I forget which. So that's at least one in every state and then a couple extra.
Yeah.
We reject policies like the Green New Deal. We will develop our own natural resources and we will be energy independent because we don't want to help our enemies.
See, the crowd is responding to his talking points.
Yeah.
The problem is with DeSantis right now, this is the first time I've heard his actual talking points.
Yeah, I think a lot of that was his shitty campaign managers.
Yeah. His campaign has been trash so far.
Yeah.
I pledge to be the president to finally solve the issue of the southern border. We're sending the military to the border. Yes, we will build a border wall and we will use deadly force against the Mexican drug cartels because I'm sick of them poisoning our kids. I'm sick of them killing our citizens. I'm sick of them trafficking people into this country. That ends on January 20th. 2025.
He got applause for that. And I'm not saying it's a mistake for the deadly force against the cartels. I have no problem with that. Being up there, I will be the one who finally does this. You should have given Trump credit there.
Yeah.
In whatever way, like the last administration did their best. They were hamstrung by Congress. We will take up that mantle and finish the job. Something like that.
I don't think you went far enough. Like just the cartels, dude. Really?
Yeah, I hear you.
I think I'm a little past that point, but okay. It's a start.
These guys they're so worried about giving anybody else any credit.
Yeah.
But if you wanted to get a little bit of an inroad into the Trump people who remember right now is like polling at 56% of your party, you give him his just due, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, you have to win people over. This is not a zero-sum game. You want to win people from him to you. You can't just ignore him or smack talk him the whole time.
And instead, what he did there is took a shot at him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyhow.
That's a dumb move.
Yeah, this is one of those optics things, guys.
We will usher in a reckoning for those like Dr. Fauci who perpetrated COVID-19 lockdown and mandate policies. Those policies were destructive for this country. They hurt people. They hurt our economy, and we still haven't fully recovered from it. You don't coddle bureaucrats like Dr. Fauci. You bring them in and you say you are fired, and we are going to hold them accountable for what they did.
Okay, good talking point, picking up on Fauci right there. However, if I'm the candidate here, instead of Fauci right there, I bring up Christopher Wray and the First Amendment violations. I don't know if he gets to that, but Fauci's already he's already retired, right?
Yeah.
He's gone. You can't fire him now.
Yeah, we're well past that.
So talk about somebody that you actually can do that with.
If you wanted to talk about holding Fauci responsible for NIH's money going over to the labs, that'd be one thing. But again, that's a minor talking point at this time, unfortunately. Christopher Wray and the ongoing harassment by the FBI of parents at school board meetings.
Yes.
Civil rights violations. That's way more egregious right now. The Fauci thing's a fun one you could do in an ad, but it's not what I would be presenting here.
Frosted, you're right, and Jack kind of hit on that, but if he wants to come out and say we are going to have the Justice Department look into Fauci sending this money over there and hold him accountable, that's one thing.
Yeah.
But we're going to bring in bureaucrats like Fauci. Fauci's gone. Get with somebody who's actually in there right now.
Yeah, you have to be directing this. You have only a few minutes here, and you have to direct that at the current administration. You want to talk about Garland and Christopher Wray, and anybody else that's been in the news lately. Talk about Meta working with the Biden administration. That's been big news. So why aren't you doing that instead of? Unfortunately, look, we're all pretty pissed at Fauci. Don't get me wrong, but that's old news at this point. That's something you do in an ad and not in a speech where you're trying to win people over to you, because a lot of people are like, look, he's already gone. What are you going to do? I mean, you arrest him, he's 84. What are you really going to do to the man?
We're going to call in the guy and fire him even though he doesn't work there anymore. All right.
Yeah. Now, if you want to take his pension or something, fine. But again, that's just not in the immediate moment right now.
Now, it was a good talking point for him. You hear the cheers for it.
Yeah.
And that's great. But I think if he had mentioned Ray instead, that place would have lost their fucking minds.
Oh, yeah. I think it's much more timely and topical. It's in the forefront of people's minds. And it's definitely going to have a more cultural impact to talk about stuff that's happening right now.
When you're coming off the border talk, we're going to hold bureaucrats like Mayorkas responsible. Call them in and say you're fired.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyhow.
We are going to ensure that parents in this country have the fundamental right to direct the upbringing and well-being of their kids. Schools and systems are important, but they do not supersede the rights of parents. We want education in this country, not indoctrination in this country. We got it done in Florida, and we need to get it done nationally.
We want education, not indoctrination. That's a good line.
It is. It is. That would be something you put on a T-shirt too.
Yep.
Be smart. They're already working on that.
Yes. I will say this is kind of disjointed because that should have come because he talked about education stuff a little while ago.
Yeah,
But-
you want to kind of keep the flow.
Yeah.
And
I got
he's a little all over.
Kamala Harris coming down to Florida trying to create phony narratives because she understands Florida has stood up to the left's agenda. We have beat the left's agenda in the state of Florida. And so she thinks she can come down and lie about what we're doing in the state of Florida.
Stop
I'm
saying
not
state of
budging an
Florida.
inch. We are going to fight back against these.
Yeah, that got almost. I realize he's talking about Kamala, but he didn't have to do an impression.
Yeah.
An inch. We are going to fight back against these people, and we are not letting them take over our schools any longer. We are going to get this right as a nation.
Okay, I hear you. I hear you. But on the federal level, how?
Shut down the Department of Education.
That's fair enough, but they're not the ones setting agendas. Those are all school board things.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess you can shut down the, and look, I've been for shutting down the Department of Education for a long time. I'm with you on that. It just doesn't promise what he promised right there.
Yeah, it's got to be about empowering parents. Maybe talk about how if you're going to have a teachers union, they have to abide by a parent's Bill of Rights.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah. The only way you're going to get rid of this is to get rid of public sector unions.
Yep.
If he was talking about that, that'd be a different thing. If you're getting federal funding, you can't have a union.
You hear that thunder?
We will also end the weaponization of federal agencies like the FBI and the Department of Justice. On day one, with me as president, you will have a new director of the FBI, long overdue. You will see a house cleaning at the Department of Justice, and we are personally going to hold them accountable. We are not going to allow them to target people like parents going to a school board meeting, pro-life demonstrators just speaking their mind, or targeting religious groups like observant Catholics. Weaponization ends on day one of our administration, and we are going to reconstitutionalize this federal government once and for all.
He even goes into that point, so why wouldn't you use that as that point?
Yeah.
I
think it's good that he's mentioned that at least.
Yeah.
I was a little worried he wasn't going to, but yeah, those are more pertinent talking points.
Absolutely. Right, I am a little annoyed that he said Christopher Wray will be gone and then we're going to do a house cleaning at Justice. He did not specifically mention firing Garland.
Yeah.
You can say that that's included in the house cleaning, sure, but I want to hear I will fire Merrick Garland's bitch ass.
Yeah, that would have been a much better rallying point for people.
Mm-hmm.
It probably got a lot of cheers. And I would even say I'm going to see to it that Garland's replacement opens an investigation into the weaponization of government and civil rights violations.
Yes. He is getting he is getting a very good response to his speech.
Yeah, well, I mean, he followed Asa Hutchinson, and it's kind of I'm pretty sure they could have the maintenance guy up there, and it would have been more exciting.
Compared to the first two, I mean, this is a presidential stump speech.
Yeah.
This is a good presidential stump speech. Now, not perfect, but a good one.
Only candidate running for president on either side of the aisle this year that's actually served in a war. I served in Iraq as a naval officer alongside Navy SEALs in Fallujah and Ramadi. and places like that. Not exactly Club Med, but it was duty that called. And, I had opportunities to do a lot of other things in my life. I was a blue collar kid. I worked minimum wage jobs, didn't necessarily have anything handed to me, but I put myself in a position to do well. But then 9/11 happened, all volunteer force. I said, I need to do my part. So we served. And when you wear the cloth of your country, you wear that American flag on your uniform, you serve beside fellow patriots, and you serve a mission greater than yourself. That's a noble calling. And I thank all the veterans in Iowa and throughout this country who have worn the uniform, because at the end of the day, a veteran is somebody who at one point in their life has written a check payable to the United States of America for an amount up to and including that individual's life. And we have a situation.
I would have liked that better if he didn't give himself a pat on the back.
Yeah, that's a little gross.
Yeah, look, it's absolutely true. And I thank the man for his service, but that would have been so much better if he didn't start. If he just said, I wore the uniform. This is what I think about the guys I served with. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I'm bashful.
Just separate it from himself just a little bit.
You'd like that, wouldn't you? No,
I would.
Nope. Politicians are arrogant, selfish people. Real quick, thank you, Dixie Rose, for that feminist donation. Vivek Ramaswamy has already said that he would eliminate the Department of Education. Yeah, I kind of like Vivek. He says a lot of things I enjoy hearing. I don't know how much I trust him yet, but I do kind of like that guy. I think he'd be a really good VP choice for Trump.
We're going to be watching Vivek's. I of the ones that are left, I plan to watch Vivek, and I want to watch Pence because I have no idea what kind of fucking dumpster fire that is, and Trump. Those are the three that I'm planning. So if anybody wants to watch one of the other, people we've never fucking heard of, we can maybe do that. Anyway, back to Ronnie Boy.
We have a situation now in this country where our recruiting into our military is at the lowest level since the end of the draft during the Vietnam War.
Yep.
And the reason why, and I have veterans coming up to me saying, Governor, I don't know that I'd want my kids or grandkids to join today's military. Yep. Why? Because they're indulging in social experimentation. They're pursuing political agendas, woke ideology.
100%.
They've taken their eye off the ball. As Commander-in-Chief on day one, we are going to rip the politics out of the military. We're going to end the woke agenda, and we are going to restore the military to mission first. And we are going to make people proud to serve again and join again, and that's going to make our country stronger.
I am going to fire all 4 of the Joint Chiefs day one.
That would have been a much better, more succinct statement.
So here's the thing. We're not getting a mulligan on 2024. We either win this election and make good on all the promises that we're making, or the Democrats are going to throw this country into a hole that's going to take us a generation to come out of. I believe.
Thank you, Frosted Glass. Wonder if Pence just did a Bud Dwyer impression. Who's Bud Dwyer? That sounds so familiar.
Is that a sports person?
I don't know. Frosted, who is that? All right.
I believe that decline is a choice. I believe success is attainable, and I know that freedom is worth fighting for. This is our chance in 2024 to send the Biden-Harris administration to the dustbin of history where it belongs. We have to rise to the...
Oh, Dwyer's the one who shot himself live on TV. Oh, yes. Okay, that's why that name's familiar.
On purpose?
Yeah. Have you never seen that?
No.
Yeah, that's a rough video to watch.
Oh.
The occasion.
This is what, back, is it the 60s or 70s? Maybe even the 80s. He was a politician. And I can't remember if he called a press conference. For some reason, there were cameras there and he's talking. And then, he pulls out a gun and shoots himself.
Damn. That's, was he, what, did he see a Clinton in the audience and they mesmerized him?
It was 87. Okay, yeah.
87? Holy shit.
Yeah. That's in Faces of Death. Is it? I didn't see it there. I saw somebody talking about it like maybe a year or two ago, and I'd never seen it, so I went and looked at it. Yeah, it's fucked up. Sorry, the Bud Dwyer thing got me. Let's back him up. Here we go.
The Biden-Harris administration to the dustbin of history where it belongs. We have to rise to the occasion. We have to fight the good fight. We have to finish the race, and we have to keep the faith. The time for excuses is over. We must get the job done. I will get the job done. God bless you all. Thank you so much. We're doing all 99 counties in Iowa because this caucus demands that you earn it, and you got to go meet the folks. So you'll see me everywhere. God bless you all.
Okay, that was really bad at the end there. And the reason that's really bad is one of the reasons they're doing all 99 counties there in Iowa is because they are doing so bad in the polling. They think that's the only way to get his numbers up.
Well, he's going to go out to some like nowhere county where there's like 5 cows and a guy named Bill, and he's like going to pet his cow. That sounds like desperation to me.
If this had been the plan all along, that's good old school politics. It's how you need to do Iowa. It's how you need to do New Hampshire. And if you do those ones well, as you get to the next states, you don't have to do as many. That's old school politics. But all you did right there at the very end is just remind everybody that your campaign has been in trouble.
Yeah, you look desperate.
Yeah,
Yeah, Volv mentioned that the speech is kind of all over the place. Yeah, I don't know if that's the way he talks or if it's just a little bit of stream of thought, but he's just trying to get everything in there, and it's not in any particular order from the look of it.
Yeah, it could have been tightened up is the problem. It was like I agree with Frosted, not perfect, but he said damn good speech. I would say a good speech. Definitely by far the best one we've looked at so far.
Yeah, but that's kind of a low bar because Asa Hutchinson, I mean, watching paint dry is more exciting than that.
Let me rephrase that. It's the best one we've seen so far, and that's not by default. It was a decent political speech. If this is the first time people were seeing DeSantis and they see that speech, it's a decent one to be introduced with.
Yeah. No, the speech was fine. It's just a little disjointed.
Yeah.
I know he's given lots of speeches before, but this just seems a little off. Maybe he just has notes and not a formal written out speech. So he's just trying to go off his cue cards and remember everything. And I don't know. He needs to tighten that up a little bit, but it was definitely not a bad speech. I thought it was pretty well done.
It just needs to flow better. But see, he suffers from a lack of charisma. He gives a decent speech. If Bill Clinton gave that speech, if Barack Obama gave that speech, if Donald Trump gave that speech, you probably wouldn't even notice the problems with it.
Yeah,
because those guys just oozed charisma.
Yeah,
and I say that thinking Obama's an idiot. And one of the funniest things you'll ever see is watch the video where his teleprompter breaks and he just goes if.
Yeah, and he's like stuttering. He's like a robot broken. Yeah, he could not work on improv.
No, but he could read.
Can.
He could read a speech really well.
Yeah. I don't know. I think DeSantis is a pretty good speaker. He just needs to refine his technique a little bit.
Yeah. Again, he got a lot out in that speech in just 10 minutes. So good for him. Not a bad speech, honestly.
Yeah.
All right. I'll let you decide here, Jack. And seriously, either way you want to go is fine with me. Do we want to listen to Tim Scott?
I don't care about Tim Scott. I think he shot himself in the foot quite a bit lately. So
which is sad too, because he should have been a strong candidate.
Yeah. I'm really surprised he kind of has been faltering a lot lately. But he suffers from the same problem Nikki Haley does. They think they're more popular than they are, and they get a little arrogant.
Yeah, we've talked about a lot of people who are running for vice president, and I think that's what Tim Scott should have done here.
Yeah, I do too. But unfortunately, I don't know if these people surround themselves with yes men or their egos are just that big. But I think he convinced himself somehow that, yeah, I can do this. No, dude, you're VP choice. Maybe next time, but not this time.
Willett Ford says, Monkey, I'm personally offended by Jack's reference to paint drying. I stream that, and it's way more entertaining. Fair enough. Guys, just a reminder brought to you by you. Please, please, please hit that like button. All right, here we go. This is Vice President, the most boring man that is going to be on the stage, I promise you. Mike Pence.
Vice President Mike.
Go ahead.
No, if I knew my choices were Tim Scott or Mike Pence, I mean.
We were going to watch Pence either way.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. Sorry.
Pence.
Well, there's sun and a banker's daughter.
I don't know this song well enough to sing it. I know the chorus. It was just only in America.
Hello, Iowa.
I don't know this song at all.
Governor Kim Reynolds, Chairman Kaufman, to my fellow Republicans, I'm Mike Pence, and I'm running for President of the United States of America, and it's my joy to be back.
Somebody should have yelled out right there, why?
Or if we know you're on the stage because you're running for president, shithead.
Yeah. And did Tucker destroy you? What are you doing?
No. Tucker did not destroy him. He destroyed himself on a show with Tucker.
Yeah, and it was pretty profoundly beautiful. I'm not gonna lie.
It was glorious.
In the first in the nation primary caucus state here in Iowa.
Okay, what a cheap way. Okay, I know politicians do this. Everybody else that we've watched so far comes out and thanks the governor and the state or the group that put it together, maybe a couple of senators from the state, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he first in the nation, Iowa. Okay. That's like, hello, Cleveland. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Stop sucking Iowa's dick, you guys. I'm kind of sick of Iowa thinking they're so fucking important, like they're kingmakers. Half the time, the people that win the Iowa caucuses and primaries never go anywhere.
No,
so
they lose anyway.
Yeah, so it's a load of shit. They just, Iowa's so important. No, it's not. Shut up.
He's really happy with himself. He's laughing at that for some reason.
Of course he is. He's a fucking idiot.
Like Democrats, I might not say it exactly right, Mr. Chairman. But unlike Democrats, I know the road to the White House starts right in the great state of Iowa.
Oh.
How many times is he going to do that?
Till Iowans all collectively climax in his mouth, I guess.
Jesus.
And it's a special joy to be in the Hawkeye State this weekend with a Marine Corps mom, a lifelong school teacher, and the best second lady the United States of America has ever had. Would you join me in thanking my wife, Karen Pence, for her lifelong service to America?
Okay, I don't mind a shout out to his wife.
This is our 15th trip to Iowa since...
oh my God, do we have to hear about how many times everybody went to fucking Iowa?
Yes.
I've driven through Iowa. I don't brag about ever going there. You know why? Because it's fucking boring. Kansas
I've actually been
exciting.
to Iowa.
What?
I've been to Iowa. My wife's family is from there originally.
Oh, really?
And yeah. I do want to go back because the Mark Twain caves are there.
Yeah, and that's it. Like
that's it. It's
honestly,
the only reason I want to go.
Oh, they're really cool. My brother spent the night in them, and he had nothing but nice things to say. But at the same time, I always think that's in Kansas. And you know why? Because Kansas is more exciting than fucking Iowa.
Oh, I thought you were going to say because both of them are filled with corn.
Yeah, but Kansas is somehow more interesting than Iowa. It's just like, if they didn't have corn, they'd have nothing. Some of the roads in Iowa aren't even paved. They're stone. It's fucking weird.
All right. Let's get back to him sucking up to Iowa.
Leaving the White House, which is what Chairman Kaufman calls a good start. Karen and I want to say thank you all for the very warm welcome, especially the warm welcome we received in Urbandale on the 4th of July, where it was only 95 degrees for that 2-mile parade. And the best part was the last half mile was all uphill. But thank you all. It's a joy to be with you.
The fuck is he
I stand
talking
before
about?
you today extraordinarily
parade.
blessed. I had the opportunity to live my dream of representing my hometown in the Congress of the United States, where I was a leader for some 12 years. I was governor of my home state, where we balanced budgets, cut taxes, and created record employment. And let me take this opportunity to thank you for the privilege of serving as your vice president. It was the greatest honor of my life.
Are you going to say anything of substance?
No.
I stand before you today as a candidate for president because I think this country's in a lot of trouble.
Oh, here we go.
Americans are facing one man-made crisis after another. And that man's name is Joe Biden.
Oh, I thought for sure he was going to say
Joe
Trump.
Biden has weakened
I thought he was going to say climate change.
Oh,
America at home and abroad in 2.5 short years. Runaway spending unleashed the worst inflation in 40 years. Their war on energy has burdened American families and businesses. Their open border policies created the worst border crisis in the history of our country. And that disastrous withdrawal from Afghanistan has emboldened the enemies of freedom around the world. And worse still, Biden and the radical left's assault on life and religious liberty and traditional values threatens the well-being of our children, born and unborn. Now, you're hearing from many candidates at this podium tonight. And we don't agree on every issue, but there'll be time for that. So let's agree here and now that starting here in Iowa, we're all going to do our part to make sure that Joe Biden is never reelected as president of the United States. Joe Biden's been a disaster.
I can't believe people are clapping for this shit.
I don't know.
For
Stevie's
America.
dropping a hate fact in chat. You support unlimited Ukraine spending. Yes, because we
Yes,
have
he
to win
does.
over there. That's for the safety of our nation.
Let's see if he brings that up.
And I understand the temptation to cling to what is familiar over leadership fitted to the times, but I believe we must resist the politics of personality and the siren song of populism unmoored to conservative values.
Wow. That is quite the shot at Trump right there.
Yeah.
Reject the politics of populism unmoored to conservative values.
Like, this asshole knows what conservative values are. Look, Trump's not a right-wing conservative. He's effectively
not.
like a 60s Democrat. But Pence is a fucking idiot. I don't know what the fuck he thinks he's doing here.
Wow. That was... Okay, Mike, hear me out. Even if you're mad about January 6th because you're a fucking retard.
Yeah. The baby.
The rest of the time in office, you were a loyal foot soldier. You did what you're supposed to do as a vice president. He's the one that brought you. Somebody mentioned in chat a minute ago, the only reason anybody knows your name is because of Donald Trump.
Yep.
Outside of your home state, nobody knew who the fuck you were. As I said with DeSantis, the very least you could do is give the man some fucking credit.
No,
and
he's mad at him.
If you want to ingratiate yourself with the voting base, you absolutely should give him credit.
Yeah, because whether he likes it or not, Pence is tied to Trump.
Yep. All right.
Because different times calls for different leadership. To defeat Joe Biden, I believe we must give the American people new Republican leadership. Leadership with a proven commitment to the conservative agenda.
Again,
talk
you were
about Jesus.
He was a loyal foot soldier for Trump.
Uh-huh.
So if Trump isn't a real conservative, then neither are you.
That's what I'm saying. Trump is his albatross, whether he wants to admit it or not.
Yeah.
He's trying so desperately to distance himself, but he can't do it. You're wed to that. You're his VP. What did you expect was going to happen? He's
You know,
just a bitter little
ever
bitch
since
boy.
I left my last
Yeah.
job, I've traveling around this state. Karen and I have figured out that we're well known, but we're not known well. People don't necessarily know that we're the parents of 3, a Yale Law grad, a best-selling author, married to a Navy lieutenant. We're the proud parents of a captain in the United States Marine Corps.
I don't care about your kids, asshole.
Did Pence serve?
I don't think so. I'm not sure.
Is he pulling some Biden shit right here?
Yes. What's his son's name? Bo?
Scranton.
They may not know about my years of leadership in the Congress or as governor. But I must say, as
Nobody
I stand
cares.
before you today, I know we can bring this country back. That's what brings me to this moment.
Am I the only one that gets like a weird day? Almost like he should be on Saturday Night Live doing an impression of George W. Bush.
No, he's using what I would call preacher talk. If you go back at like a sentence or two, you can hear his cadence, and he sounds like a preacher.
To me, it sounds more like Bush giving a speech.
That's because that's how George Bush would give speeches too. It's got that rhythm of like a Southern Methodist preacher or something.
Moment. Because I know how. We can end the inflation inflicted by the Biden administration on American families by ending runaway spending, confronting our debt crisis, unleashing American energy, and making the Trump-Pence tax cuts permanent.
I'm sorry. Wait. Did he finally give Trump some credit?
Yes, but he added his own name on there.
Yeah, you ain't do shit with a tax cut, homie. Dixie Rose, thank you for that feminist $12. He reminds me of the old adage, I stand here before you to sit down behind you and tell of something I know nothing about.
Nice. Yeah, that's absolutely true.
Yeah. Thank you, Dixie.
We can embrace our role as leader of the free world, confront Russian aggression and Chinese provocations with a new military fitted to the challenges in the 21st century. And we can end the political correctness at the Pentagon, including reinstituting a ban on transgender personnel in the United States military.
Wow, that should have got a lot bigger clapping. The problem is he put Russia in there. If he'd said China only instead of Russia, he might have got a bigger clap for that, but he's had to slip the Russian thing in there.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's going to be the only mention of Russia, because it's very interesting. This is, if you watch a lot of political speeches, this is some stuff you'll pick up on, guys. He acknowledges his conversation with Tucker there. We got to stand up to that Russian aggression. But then quickly goes to, and China, and then goes to, and get transgender people out of the military.
That's unfortunately one of his weaknesses, though, is he's thinking in a different time frame. He's given a speech like you would 10 years ago. These people don't adapt well. See, he thinks that the Russia thing is a good talking point because we love war, right? But it reminds everybody about what he said about unlimited funds for Ukraine.
Thank you, Keldrig. Fuck that. The rest of the world can take care of itself for once. I agree.
Yep.
It's kind of underhanded the way he just did that. He should have gone, if he was being honest about it, stand up to Russian aggression and give a moment for a pause for people to react.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to understand that it's not as popular as he thinks it is.
And we can end Biden's radical abortion agenda by doing just what you all did recently here in Iowa. And that is promoting pro-life laws at states across the country. And I believe the time has come for a minimum national standard of a 15-week ban at the federal level.
Wow. That should have been a red meat topic.
Yeah, people don't like him, though.
And
he doesn't understand that either.
Barely any clapping. Wow. All right.
finally, we can restore confidence in the rule of law by cleaning house at the Department of Justice and appointing men and women of integrity who will uphold the law without
Name
fear
names.
or favor.
Name names.
You know, I truly do believe the American people
Pussy.
long to restore a threshold of civility in public life.
So he's going to acknowledge that the DOJ is fucked up. You think he's going to say anything about them going after Trump?
No.
And yeah, guys, I agree with you. Abortion is a state issue. And that thing he just said about the 15-week ban, especially with Republican women, that is not a winner. Let that shit go to the states. Keep that shit out of the Fed. Anyhow.
Yeah, but again, he's thinking like it's like 1995 again.
There's places where that would get big applause.
Yeah, but you do your research on that shit first. Tailor your speeches to the crowd you're talking to.
Well, I mean, he is in Iowa where they just did that. But again, if you go back to the Roe arguments that were had for 50 fucking years, the argument was always, this is a state issue.
Yeah. Well, since they've already taken care of it, I don't understand why he even included that.
To try to push it on, hey, I'm going to do this nationally.
I guess, but it doesn't seem like a winning topic.
You're never going to get that passed through Congress.
I don't think he cares about that.
In order for that to pass through Congress, you would need Republicans to have a supermajority in the Senate. And I just don't see that happening for a while. So he can say it all he wants. It's never going to happen. Because that's not a bill that can be passed on just a simple majority.
You know, here in Iowa and back home in Indiana, we know how to disagree without being disagreeable. And I want to promise each and every one of you that if I have the privilege of being your president, we will restore honesty, integrity, and civility to American public life.
Wow. All right, we got to watch that again. Wow.
Integrity and civility to American public life.
He pulled a Joe Biden there. He leans into the mic to go, and civility. Just a straight up shot at Trump. Wow.
That's out of touch with what's going on. And he's getting bad advice from somebody.
I'm all for civility. But you also have to realize, like, somebody like Donald Trump comes from New York, and New York is a different place for doing politics. The kind of shit that Trump does, calling people names, that is just New York politics.
Yeah. Yeah, New Yorkers are very abrasive people.
Yeah. It's like, you know, I don't want to, because I was going to say the C word. There's places where people will call you the C word, and it's not meant, it's not, hey, friend, but it's also not meant, I hope you die kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's jabbing. It's just taking a little tiny shot at you that really shouldn't bother you. And if you had balls, you just do it back to me kind of thing.
I believe it's called good-natured ribbing.
There you go. Yeah, exactly. And we'll talk about that when we get to Trump.
You know, in all my travels as your vice president and all my other...
I didn't do anything. Nobody knew who I was. And Jesus Christ. You were a vice president, homie. You didn't do shit, all right?
times of service, two things have been true. During all that time, my opinion of the
I got to stop there again. If you're going to take shots at Trump, at least have the balls to actually say who you're talking about. Can we agree that should be a thing instead of this passive aggressive bullshit?
Yeah, but this just makes Pence look like a pussy.
Well, I mean, all of them have done it so far.
Yeah, but they're cowards.
Except for that one asshole we saw at the beginning who took a shot at Trump, but that was really stupid the way he did it.
Yeah, that was lazy.
Yeah.
federal government has gone down. My opinion of the American people has gone up.
Why?
Each and every year.
My opinion of the American people has gone down each and every year. because I pay attention to Americans. Apparently, you don't, Mikey.
No, he's just giving a little ball feel there.
We actually have young people who think communism is a good thing.
And that hate speech should be a crime.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen the American people in good times and in bad. I've seen when the wind's blown and beat against the house. I've seen the way Americans come alongside neighbors and friends and people they never met.
Right?
People rebuild their
line
lives.
up, jerking off.
Fuck are you watching?
Yeah.
Is it the glory hole or something? All right.
Their darkest hours. I say to you with deep conviction, the American people are the most faith-filled, freedom-loving, innovative, generous people the world has ever known. We just got to have government as good as our people again.
I'll give you generous. The rest of what he said used to be true. Back when you were on the farm, back when you were making chicken wings and steaks and shit. There are a lot of good Americans out there, Jack.
Yeah, not enough, but there are some good ones out there.
But he's, you mentioned several times, this is a speech from another time. I still love America. I love the ideas of America.
Oh,
there are
yeah.
a lot of Americans I do love, but there's a lot of them I think should just get the fuck out of my country.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're American in name only. They hate everything about the place.
Yep. And they're actively trying to destroy it so they can go away.
So this then is your task, Iowa. Iowa always plays an outsized role in shaping our nation's leadership. Tonight is one more installment of that. But I know the people of Iowa will rise to the challenge. You'll shape that leadership to meet this moment in the life.
Brent says, Pence is trying to say make America great again without saying it. No. He actually changed it. He said make American government great again.
Yeah. It's sad.
Life of our nation. So I believe in the people of this country. And I have faith.
No, faith isn't what we need right now. You have your faith for your personal stuff. That's great. And I anybody who has it, I encourage it. But when it comes to what needs done in America, faith is wrong. What needs done in America, we need concrete answers. This is a really bad speech.
Well, he's really
Truly
bad
do
speaker.
believe.
Yeah.
Through the long and storied history of America, again and again, we see evidence of Providence's hand. From the moment the Pilgrims first stepped off onto Plymouth Rock.
Can you say nuclear for me?
He's got to talk about Jesus for a little while.
Nation under God has gone to the wellspring of support that has always seen us through challenging times and will see us yet through these times. I believe with all my heart. God is not done with America yet. And if all of us do all that we need to do to turn our hearts back to Him and work to give America a new future grounded in freedom and in our highest ideals, we're going to win a great future for the American people in 2024. And I know the best days of the greatest nation on earth are yet to come.
All right. Several people have said that. That is a very old line. The best days are yet to come. Somebody needs to come up with a new way to say that.
Yeah. Managing decline.
Yeah, there you go.
So I thank you for hearing me out tonight. I look forward to seeing you at Casey's and Pizza Ranch in the days ahead.
Stop sucking up to the Iowans, fucker. It's like when a comedian goes to a new town, they'll learn the name of a place so they can drop it in a joke.
Yeah.
Christ, man.
The Pences will be doing the full Grassley.
The full Grassley, that's going to all 99 counties. The same thing Ron DeSantis said.
And I can't wait.
How you been there 15 times and you ain't got at least most of that done?
Right?
If you've heard something tonight you like or you see something you like, I hope you go to MikePence2024.com and join our cause.
Oh, my
Let me
God.
close by
Stop
just
dropping your
thanking
websites.
the way the people of Iowa take to heart your responsibility in this moment in the life of our nation. It's deeply inspiring.
All right, I'm just pausing this right here for the Chiron at the bottom that's scrolling. Jim Jordan reveals smoking gun documents exposing Biden-fueled Facebook censorship. Matt Tiabi had a tweet about this today. I still haven't read the Facebook stuff. We'll do that tomorrow probably.
Yeah, Jordan had a whole thread about it. They called it the Facebook files.
As I stand before you today as a candidate for president of the United States,
Stop playing, Mike.
I want to say thank you, Iowa. Thank you for doing your part to make
Iowa,
sure
fuck you.
that the best days of the greatest nation on earth are yet to come.
You just said that.
And it will be Republicans that lead us there. So help us God. Thank you very much. God bless you, and God bless America.
How many times has he referred to God in the last 2 minutes of that? Look, dude, that's 1980s talking points, okay? The moral majority is not as big as it used to be. There's not nearly as many Christians anymore. It's just not going to work like it used to.
I don't mind him doing it a little bit, but he went kind of, I mean, it's like a full 2 minutes there at the end where he's doing that stuff, but he's also very repetitive.
Yeah, that's one of his weak points, I think.
Here's the thing, guys. I don't like Mike Pence. But I've seen Mike Pence give a decent speech. The one that he gave at the RNC convention was good. This man has run for governor before. I think he was elected to the House, which means he was elected 6 times. Maybe it was just 2 terms in the Senate. I don't know exactly how it breaks down, but he's been elected repeatedly. That was a very shitty speech.
Oh, yeah, it was terrible.
It was bland. And
it was too generic, just like Hutchinson's and Haley.
Sucking up in ways that you don't need to be sucking up. I mean, you do that once and then you move on. How many times can you say hello, Cleveland?
Yeah. Are you ready to rock?
Are you ready to rock?
No.
I need a ballad first. All right.
Hang on. Thank you, Keldrick. I don't trust a preacher who aspires to politics. Yeah, it does give off that like preacher vibes, I'm telling you. And the constant references to religion, I don't think is going to play as well as it used to. There's not as many religious people anymore. And the ones that are religious know their religion.
I don't like the talk about making America, a religious place again. If you want to talk about how it's personal to you, I don't have a problem with that.
So we can't have the giant Ganesh statue?
I mean, you can, but it don't bring me into it.
Everybody loves elephants. What are you talking about?
You make it a personal thing. My faith drives what I do. That might sound old-fashioned to some people, but that's how I live my life. And I think that meshes with, the overall view of America being free and taking care of your neighbor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't hey, we're gonna have a new crusade. Just back it off a little bit. All right, Jack. The next 2 that we are definitely going to watch are Trump and Vivek. The other one we might watch, and again, I'm leaving it up to you, Larry Elder.
I don't care.
Fair enough.
I'm going to repeat that.
And every time you say we don't care, then we're just going to skip them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The other ones is Ryan Binkley, who I don't know who the fuck that guy is.
I have no idea. I think the first time I heard his name was yesterday.
Mayor Francis Suarez, we're skipping his ass.
I still don't know who that is.
Will Hurd, sorry. We saw what we need to see from him.
Worthless.
Governor Doug Burgum and Perry Johnson, we're skipping those guys.
I don't know who that guy is either.
I will throw this link into chat so you guys can go watch all of them if you missed it. I will fix the link in YouTube's description so you guys can get there later. It should be right on Rumble, but don't quote me. So we're going to watch Vivek first, and then we'll wrap up with Donald Trump. How's that?
Whatever.
The way that they're listed here, they have Trump first and then Vivek. But I feel like Trump should headline. You know what I mean? That's why in the thumbnail, he's front and center, because he is the elephant in the room. Oh, that's kind of a pun, isn't it?
Not kind of. Well, he is leading the numbers, and let's face it, he's got a much bigger personality. And I think he's a better speaker than almost all of these people.
Yeah.
So just because he's done it so much.
Welcome, Vivek Ramaswamy.
Vivek. I'm going to start calling him like Jim. It's just easier to say.
No, we should call him Vivian.
We could call him Viv.
Yeah, Viv. That sounds cool.
Viv.
It's a little bit more metal.
Yeah, it is, yeah. As they play this country song.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Take it away, Viv.
A welder's son and a banker's daughter. All they want is everything.
Thank music you. Just doesn't match. This get some fucking heavy metal out there. This country music's like a little, take a nap, dude. It's cool.
They always use country music for these things.
I don't get it. No, you gotta get people jazzed up. Country music is not, you're not gonna go out and run into battle to that. No, you need like the Valkyries or something. You need something a little bit more like either classical music or heavy metal. You gotta sound badass.
Nah, fuck that shit. You
like,
come out to the Darth Vader march.
Yeah, the classical music, Imperial Death March. Dun, 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 dun. I'd be fine with that. But this like, let's have a good old time and bang our cousins. No, that's not inspiring. That's just kind of like, let's lay back and watch some fireworks or something.
That's harsh, man.
I'm sorry, it's just not. It's not rally music. You want something that like really gets people going. Cannons going off. War of 1812 sounds.
There are some good ones out there that they could do it with. They just never do because they always go to the American ones. And the red, white, and blue. But, Lee Greenwood, God Bless the USA, that kind of stuff.
So tiresome. There's got to be a heavy metal version of that out there. I guarantee you there is some sort of like God Bless the USA or Our Country 'Tis of Thee that some metal band put out. It's out there somewhere, if not have it commissioned, and then play that shit. It's got to be a little bit more like get on your feet kind of music.
I also want to say this. Vivek should never turn his head sideways because his hair is receding and it makes his head look really weird shaped.
Dude, he's an Indian guy that just came out to a country song.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, you're not wrong. There's already a lot of issues here.
Also, the muted red tie. If you're going to wear the power tie, wear the bright red. All right.
Good to be here, back in Iowa. I feel like I live here now, and I'm enjoying being with you all. For those of you who don't know me yet, my parents came to this country over 40 years ago with almost no money. I went on to found multi-billion-dollar companies.
Good for you.
And I did it while getting married and raising our two sons. That is the American.
The fact you got money after you got married, that alone, I mean, I'll let you run our economy.
Yeah. But did
You're
you
doing
get
something
keep
right.
Cool stuff?
Dream. I am worried that American dream will not exist for my two sons and their generation.
Well, luckily, they got a rich dad.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you what's going on with us. I'm 37 years old. I am the youngest person ever to run for the GOP nomination for U.S. president. Thank you.
And your hair's already receding that bad? Dude, if you win this nomination, you're going to be bald by the end of it because it's just going to all fall out from stress.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. There was a dude in my high school that went bald before he was 18. Like, full-on bald.
For the record, I have no problem with him being 37. That's only 2 years past the date where you can run.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's very young for running for president. A lot of what I see of this guy, I really do like. I want to preface that because I will probably, I'm biased, Jack. I can't help it. The The only three candidates I think we should have even paid attention to, if we were just paying attention to people who I think have any kind of chance, would be Ron DeSantis, Donald Trump, and Vivek.
Yeah, I agree.
The rest of the field can go fuck themselves.
Well, the rest of the field's either running for VP or a cabinet position.
Or for vanity.
Yeah, some sort of spite revenge thing like Chris Christie and Pence. Pence's vanity is getting the better of him.
Keister says he may be 37, but his hairline is 62. All right. Look, optics do matter. He needs to trim that shit down because it just looks funny. Just trim it, homie.
Yeah. Too many guys try and salvage what's left of their hair. Just accept it, dude. Just accept it.
You can't have a receding bouffant haircut.
No, but maybe it'll start a trend. I mean,
you can, but you're going to look like an idiot. Anyway, let's listen to what he has to say. Yeah, an Indian pompadour. His pompadour is going to start at his ears. Just tap out to baldness. There's that too.
And I will tell you, speaking as a member of my generation, what's happening to us. We are hungry for a cause.
Yeah, he's not wrong.
We are hungry for purpose.
Yep.
And meaning.
Yep. And that all comes down to a decline in religion. People don't have to like that, but it's true.
It is true. There's a God-shaped hole in their hearts.
Yeah. And that's not to push religion on anybody, guys. I think you need to find something that you are passionate about that does give you purpose.
People need something to believe in that's greater than themselves. It's a human trait, and they call it the God-shaped hole. And for some people, it's religion. Other people, it's activism or communism, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. But people do need a cause in their life, something that they believe in passionately.
Yep. And if it's religion for you, I'm happy for you. I really am. For me, it's not.
I think more people need Jesus these days, honestly, because
again, I'm not pushing it on people.
I just think people need to realize there is. Oh, God, no.
Just saying. That's why America's so fat. Yeah, they've replaced Jesus with cream filling.
Ew.
And
fuck baby Jesus. I haven't said it in a while.
Well, I think Evolve's got the clip already, dude.
For the record, that's a joke. It is a callback. I'm not saying fuck baby Jesus. I mean, I did, but never mind.
There was context.
Identity.
Yeah, there's context. That's what I was looking for. I dug my hole and then couldn't find the exit.
It happens.
We are hungry for purpose.
Yes.
And meaning. Yep. And identity.
That's not a word I would have used.
Frosted Glass, thank you. He comes out to Bollywood music. He's got my vote. Fair enough.
If he did a Bollywood ad campaign, like an ad, I would laugh my ass off. That'd be brilliant.
He said we're hungry for identity there. I do think that's part of it. But that goes back to the whole religion thing. With Jesus, you have your Christians. If you don't believe that, but you still believe in the Old Testament kind of Bible and the Torah, you have your Jews. If you don't believe in those and you go the other way, you go the Quran, you have your Muslims. They're still groups. The problem is that used to be a very wide group. Christians were everybody, white, black, Hispanic. And instead of having that massive thing that united everyone, they broke everybody up into the smallest groups that they can to have us fighting with each other. So while I understand what you said there, Jack, where I wouldn't use that word, I get what he's going for there.
Yeah.
But it all comes back to the same thing. Alan, thank you so very much for the message with no donation. The donation with no message. Fuck.
The message with no donation, we call that chat.
We call that chat. And Monkey's not too good with his words. Here we go. It's a good thing I make my living with it. All right.
At a time in our national history when the things that used to fill that void, faith, patriotism, hard work.
I want to pause there because we have talked about the religious aspect of it. we haven't talked about the community aspect of it, breaking down the identity of being American. People used to be proud to be American, and now people are like, well, I'm not proud to be American. Well, why not? Well, because I read some stuff one time, so fuck them. They've broken communities.
Well, a lot of that does come back to religion, because where did you go to, like, connect with people socially and network? You went to church, or you went to your temple, or whatever, or your deep woods oak grove. You went out and did things within that. You had your social gatherings there, and they've taken that away, and there's no replacement for that.
Lysis, thank you so much. Old proverbs, stand for something or fall for anything. 100%. Yeah, it's one of my favorite sayings.
And you know who has a pretty tight community is the Hindus.
Yeah.
So he actually probably knows what he's talking about here. I don't know if he was raised Christian or Hindu or Muslim, because those are the three big ones in India. But I'd be willing to bet that at least one of his family members is Hindi.
Probably. But yeah, so I mean, you've broken down religion, you've broken down patriotism. He then goes and he says hard work. And I mean, I guess that's part of it, but I don't think that's that when you're talking about the whole shape in people. Hard work is something that is missing, but that is something that gives you self-respect more than, the feeling of belonging or the feeling of having some real purpose. So that one I'm not as sold on that one.
Patriotism, hard work, family.
Yes.
These things have disappeared. And that leaves a moral vacuum, a black hole in its wake.
100%.
And when you have a black hole that runs that deep, that is when the poison fills the void.
I was going to make a porn joke there, but then he said something profound.
Yeah, I was thinking of a dirty porn star with the herpaderp.
When the black hole is that deep, you need the monster. No. So far, I've been interrupting too much, and I almost feel like I'm doing him a disservice here. So far, he comes out kind of fiery, and he's speaking well and hitting on some good points.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what I've seen with him. He's a very good speaker.
Yeah.
My only complaints with him is that he tends to rush, which I haven't seen him doing here yet. So.
Wokeism, transgenderism, climatism, COVIDism, globalism, depression, anxiety, fentanyl, suicide. These are symptoms of a deeper void of purpose and meaning in our country.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And odd enough, that may actually be our opportunity as conservatives to now level up, to say we're going to fill that void with our answer to what it means to be an American. For a long time,
Why did people not clap right there?
I don't know. That's a really good sentiment.
I mean, yes, he's spot on right there.
They're shocked by him saying that.
This is so far better than DeSantis was.
Yeah.
Damn. I don't know if they're just shocked because they don't know who this guy is, but yeah, that is definitely where he should have had to stop. So they were clapping.
This goes back to my buddy Mike that didn't know the difference between Indians. And he thought that when we said, we defeated the Indians, he thought they were like Hindu Indians and not Native American Indians. So like, this Indian ain't going to tell me how to live.
Nice. Okay. Get back to Oklahoma where you belong.
American. For a long time, we as conservatives, we have been running from something.
Yeah.
I am running for president to start leading us to something, to our vision of what it means to be an American today.
There you go.
Swing by Costco. I need to pick some stuff up.
I age that question. What does it mean to be an American? You get a blank stare in response.
Yeah.
That is the vacuum. That is the void. That is the void.
He's a little wrong there. His generation, if you ask him what it means to be American, yeah, you'll get a blank stare from some of them, and from others, you're just going to hear about how horrible America is.
Yeah, they'll be like, it's the white cis patriarchy,
Mm-hmm.
the heteronormativity.
That we will fill with our vision. It means we believe in the ideals that set this nation into motion 250 years ago. Ideals like meritocracy and the pursuit of excellence, that you do get ahead in this country, not on the color of your skin, but on the content of your character and your contributions. That is why I've said we will end affirmative action in America in every sphere of our life. It has been a cancer on our national soul.
All right. I want to go there, and maybe it's because it's coming towards the end of the night, but slap all these people who are not clapping for this shit.
Yeah, there's no reason that this is a lot of stuff that we talk about all the time, and other commentators talk about all the time. And these clowns are just were they asleep? What's happening here?
Tailfin says he's winning me over. Look, the first time I saw him talk was the Tucker Carlson one, and I was blown away. I get why people like this guy.
Yeah, I've been watching him for a little while now since he first announced. I was kind of aware of who he was before that, but yeah, I've been liking everything this guy says.
Keister Bunny says, didn't the Supreme Court do just that? No, they did not. The Supreme Court ended affirmative action in colleges, but it is still allowed within military colleges.
Yeah.
And there's certain exceptions. There are certain exceptions.
What does it mean to be an American? It means we believe in the rule of law. That if you're like my parents, you do get to come to this country legally through the front door if you follow the rules.
Nice.
But it also means that your first act of entering this country cannot break the law. That is why I have said that I will use the U.S. military to secure our own southern border and our northern border too. That is how we stand for the rule of law.
Okay, he just won me over. Somebody finally pointed out them fucking Canadians.
Yeah. Or we call them snow Mexicans.
Because them fucking Canadians are letting people cross their border coming down here.
Yep.
Dirty
They've
little
been doing
shits.
that for a while. And you can't trust Canada because Trudeau's a piece of shit. But he also needs to talk about how we're going to get rid of the freeloaders that are here.
Yes. I don't know if any candidate speaks about that, so we'll see.
Probably not.
In the United States of America. What does it mean to be an American?
That was a pretty long clap break for putting troops on the northern border.
Yeah. Oh, real quick. Thank you, Frosted Glass. I really hope this guy gets the candidacy and ends up running against Elizabeth Warren so we could call 2024 Feather versus Dot election. It would be tribal warfare for sure, but I think he's probably a better soldier than her.
Much better speaker.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And Elizabeth Warren, more like runs with diarrhea.
Mm-hmm.
It means we believe in a radical dream that our founding fathers had. A radical dream that I have as a citizen. That the people who we elect to run the government ought to be the ones who actually run the government.
Ooh.
Not this managerial, bureaucratic deep state that runs the show today.
Oh, right. Preach,
That's
brother.
That's why I've said that as your next president, I will not promise you to reform those agencies. That is a false promise. When you have an agency that should not exist, an agency that has become so corrupt that it has abandoned the rule of law, from the U.S. Department of Education to the FBI, to the IRS, to the ATF,
I'll get a boner.
To the CDC, we will not just reform them, we will shut them down. That is how we restore the integrity of a constitutional republic.
I'm not kidding. I have goosebumps. Dude.
Yeah, he is saying the things I want to hear as a voter.
Dude. And specifically named the FBI, shutting them down.
That's a bold move for a private citizen to do that, because we all know how much they like to target people.
I hope this motherfucker's got good security.
Oh shit! They'll be
All
like,
right.
have you been to a school board meeting recently? Are you a Catholic?
Frosted says I want to have his baby. Me first.
When you have an agency that should
I'm
not
listening
exist,
again.
an agency that has become so corrupt that it has abandoned the rule of law, from the U.S. Department of Education to the FBI, to the IRS, to the ATF, to the CDC, we will not just reform them, we will shut them down. That is how we restore the integrity of a constitutional republic. I'll tell you.
Hell yeah. Goddamn. He forgot the DOJ. Look, Faithless, he didn't name all of the ones that he's talking about. Remember, in the roaming millennial thing, he said he's going to fire just 75% of all government workers outside of the military.
You know what's sad is that would have like zero impact on our lives. Like, because a lot of the bullshit paperwork would necessarily have to go away.
Yeah. All right.
We fought an American Revolution in 1776 for the idea that we, the people, settle our differences through a constitutional republic where free speech and open debate is how we sort that out. Every citizen's voice and vote counts equally. That's how we do it on this side of the pond. For all of human history, it was done the other way. We said no to the old worldview. They said we, the people, cannot be trusted to sort our own differences. We, the people, cannot be trusted with the truth. It had to be a small group of elites in the back of palace halls in the old world, today in the back of three-letter government agency offices in Washington, D.C. We, the people, said no to that vision. We said, you know what? We can handle the truth. We can handle the truth about what happened with COVID-19, whether or not it began in a lab in China. We can handle the truth with respect to vaccination and mask mandates and school closures and shutdowns. We can handle the truth about a Hunter Biden laptop story on the eve of an election. We can handle the truth about what really happened on January 6th. This is what the American Revolution was about. We, the people.
Wow. I'm going to get to that in just a second. Thank you so much, Dark Resurrect, coming through that feminist $12. I need new pants and underwear. Holy fuck, man. Hate that he's going to get double sad to the back of his head. Yeah. We need to protect this man.
I'm telling you, he would be the best VP choice for Trump.
Nah, fuck that. This guy needs to be the candidate.
It's not going to happen, though.
I know it's not going to happen, but I can dream.
I know.
Look, we can handle the truth about January 6th. Damn. I wonder if any of the other people talked about that. I'm curious, because the ones we watched, none of them brought that up. But what he's talking about there, guys, is the FBI being there on January 6th. We fucking know it happened.
Well, of course.
And they've slowly admitted it over and over and over again. A little bit more. Maybe somebody was there. Yeah, we had people there. How many? We don't know. And he just came out and said, we can handle the truth. Basically saying, we're going to let y'all know. Damn. Yeah, he's trying to get himself shot by a government agency.
Sure looks that way, but
Vivek, stay out of Texas, especially Dallas.
Yeah, no shit.
If somebody offers you a car ride near a grassy knoll, duck.
Can handle the truth. And I will tell you this. That is the moment, and that is the moment we live in today. It is a 1776 moment in this country. That is the real choice we face in this GOP primary. There are many good people running. good-hearted people. I am not in this race and will not personally attack any of them. They're good people who wish to serve this country.
On both sides.
Except Mike Pence is a dick. I'm just going to throw that out there.
We are running to something. We're not just running from something, attacking our neighbors. But there is a choice we face. There are good people in this race who will tell you this is the time for reform. We need to work within the institutions we have. We should incrementally reform them for the better. But that's a false promise. They don't know it's a false promise, but when those institutions, when that government, when that deep state has become so rotten, we can no longer just fix it from the top. This is not a moment for reform. I don't stand for reform. I stand for revolution.
That's a good line. I don't stand for reform. I stand for revolution. That's a really good line. It also got you on an FBI watch list, homie.
Oh, he was on an FBI watch list as soon as he put a Republican next to him.
Yeah.
This is the moment of the American Revolution. Those 1776 ideals that set this nation into motion 250 years ago. For me, November 2024, that is not the finish line. That is the start line. The finish line is January of 2033. When I leave office, when I will tell you that once again in the United States of America, we have 3 branches of government, not 4. We shut down the deep state and the administrative state. I will tell you in January 2033 that we are no longer dependent on our enemy, Communist China, for our modern way of life. I will tell you in January 2033 that our economy is the fastest growing economy once again in the developed world. And most of all, I will tell you that day when I leave office that young Americans across this country, people my age and younger, are once again proud to be citizens of this nation because we tell them the truth. We trust them with the truth, and that is what we are doing in this campaign. We speak that truth. We speak it without apology. God is real. There are 2 genders. Fossil fuels are a requirement for human prosperity. Reverse racism is racism.
If I wasn't married, I'd propose.
So what I think the message I'm getting here is UFO disclosure now.
This dude, man.
I told you he's really good.
The more I hear of him, seriously.
Yeah, he's somebody I would actually give $5 to because
this. I just want to point out this is how good he is. I've watched him uninterrupted. The last half of it here. More than I've watched anything uninterrupted on this channel ever.
Yeah. We're all shocked by that, Monkey.
I'm just sitting here just mesmerized. All right. I backed it up just a little bit because I cut him off in mid word there. So here we go.
Racism.
What? Is that me or is that him? I think Monkey's broken. Okay. Yeah, it's Monkey. Yeah, I think his internet overloaded and they thought it was porn. Oh, hey Lester, how you doing, man? Wonder if the storm got him. It might have. He went to jack off to this guy. That's a possibility. They got some monk. That's always a possibility too. Thank you, Dark Resurrect, for that feminist donation. In a perfect world, he'd get the nomination. If not, then Trump needs to immediately get him as VP and the king to make him to president afterwards. Yes, that's what I was thinking exactly. Is if Trump takes him as the VP choice, then he can run when Trump's out of office. And I think he would make probably a pretty good president if he's serious about what he's saying here. And I think he is. But I think he would be a really good pick, but he's not widely known enough. He's only at like 4 or 5%. And I really hope he gets on the debate stage. But if Trump doesn't scoop him up as VP, that would be a major failing. Yeah, the internet can't handle that level of base. You're not wrong.
All right.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah, my AT&T just died, like completely. So unfortunately, now we're on the Starlink, and this is the one that has the problems with fading in and out. Yeah. So good luck to us all. And sorry about that. We Vivek ended up getting cut off.
Yeah, it's just too much quality right-wing talking points for the internet to handle. You got eliminated there. Still with me?
I'm back.
Ah, welcome back.
Yeah, hang on.
Welcome back.
Does he drop again? If I do, we just run things for a moment.
Yeah. If I figure it out, yeah.
I'll be right back.
All right. Yeah, I'm liking Vivek. I think he's Vivian's got quite a bit to say here. If Trump grabs him as VP, shoe an election. Well, this guy would run circles around Kamala and probably Gavin Newsom.
Okay, and I think I'm back. I think we're good.
You'd like that, wouldn't you?
I really would. Sorry about that, guys.
The technical issues happens.
Yeah.
We're doing it live.
I saw Miss Nuts in the chat there, didn't I? Hi, sweetie.
Woo, Stargazer.
All right, back to Mr. Ramaswamy here. You know what that was?
What?
That was the FBI getting involved.
Probably.
Yeah, little fuckers.
It wouldn't surprise me if we were on a list.
Is the best system known to man to lift people up from poverty. There are 3 branches of government, not 4. And the U.S. Constitution is the strongest guarantor of freedom in human history. That is the truth. We will not back down from the truth. We stand up for the truth. That is what won us the American Revolution. That is what will win us the revolution of 2024. Thank you all. God bless you. God bless your families. And God bless our United States of America. The revolution of 2024. Here we come. Thank you.
God damn. I don't know what we just witnessed there, Jack.
We witnessed what would probably be a solid president, but should absolutely be Trump's VP.
That was an amazing speech. Holy shit.
And that's why I say Trump, if he was smart, he would grab Vivek now and make him his VP choice.
He says he's not running for second place.
Yeah, they all say that, though. He's only at 4%.
Anybody who's running should be saying that. Keister said, but then I watched him rap on camera. Yeah, he did a Eminem rap back in college during like some talent show or something.
We've all done dumb shit in our past, though.
I'm okay with it. Damn, that was a really good speech. Seriously, the best one. And again, not by default, the best one we've seen tonight.
Yeah, and probably one of the best overall because the people were skipping. Let's face it, they're already low enough in the polls. Like, we've never heard of some of them.
Yeah. All right. God damn, man. I just want to watch that again and touch myself. Now, next up is the former president of the United States, Donald J. Trump. Are we ready?
My body is ready.
I'll be honest with you. It's going to be hard to follow that up.
Karma said, "I'm wet." I know, right? That
And
it was like every good talking point done properly.
Yes.
All the stuff I actually want to hear, he said. Unlike Pence, whose talking points are from like 20, 30 years ago.
Nobody Not Me said had to rewind and hear it again. We'll catch back up. Yeah. Oh shit. I gotta watch the commercial again. I'm gonna drop the link into chat that has all of these again.
Oh yeah, good idea.
Because again, I don't have them right in the description. I have to fix that. But there you go. If anybody wants to watch these, this is the channel. What was it? RSBN, the right side broadcasting network. There we go. So give them a view. Follow them if you're not, and let's get this last one in here, Jack. This is the full speech of the former president.
President Donald J. Trump.
One kid dreams of fame and fortune. One kid helps.
They're waiting for him. Come on, Donald. There we go.
One could end up going to prison.
I don't know if that was a good song choice.
Probably not. Could end up going to prison, and you got Trump right there on screen.
Yeah. Oh.
Do you think who's ever doing the audio did that part on purpose?
Yeah, I do. It's probably a Pence fan.
Yeah, probably.
One just might be president.
Again, I mean, it follows up with that line.
Yeah, I don't know though. I mean, could you get some Kenny Rogers or something?
Well, thank you very much. Great honor to be with you. And hello, Iowa. I'm here to deliver a very simple message. Iowa has never had a better friend in the White House than President Donald J. Trump, and I think we know that.
I really don't like when he talks about himself in third person.
I think it's kind of funny, actually. But
it's such a Trumpian thing, though. If he stopped doing it, it would just be weird.
Yeah. It's a personality quirk. Yeah. Some people can pull it off. Most people can't.
We made a lot of big promises to the people of this great state. And as your president, I kept every single one of those promises. I gave the farmers $28 billion straight out of the tariffs I took from China. No other president took anything from China.
True.
Got hundreds of billions of dollars. We gave the farmers $28 billion. And that was the largest amount was given to Iowa. I ended the NAFTA disaster, the worst trade deal ever made in this country.
True. And
replaced it with the brand new USMCA. And that's, as you know, Mexico, Canada was the best trade deal ever made. And so good, in fact, that the two nations are now trying very, very hard to renegotiate the deal, and don't let them do that. And while I never mention it because of COVID or the China virus, as they say.
Oh, Trump never changed. He had to say China virus, didn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, never change.
Actually, proven more accurate every day.
No shit.
I also got China to buy, and this is so important, but just don't talk about it, to buy $50 billion worth of American farm product, and they were buying it. And
you know, Trump has one unique advantage, and it's not just being president. It's that he's not wrong about this stuff. He did accomplish a lot of things.
Oh, absolutely.
Stuff he gets no credit for.
Yeah, especially the NAFTA thing. That was a huge achievement.
NAFTA took 3 factories out of this town.
Yep.
And this town doesn't have very many factories.
Well, it crushed pretty much all of Michigan and all the Rust Belt. We call it the Rust Belt because all that stuff went overseas. It went down to Mexico. It went over to China. It went over to Indonesia, India.
The 3 factories that left here, one of them actually had 2 locations. and all 3 of them went down to Mexico. NAFTA was a horrible fucking deal, and he said he would end it. He did, and it was replaced with, I forget what the new acronym is.
USMCA,
but that's the one.
He just said it a minute ago.
Yeah. He goes, we're renegotiating this, and the press was like, how dare you? They'll never go for it. And Mexico was like, we'll sign on the dotted line right now.
Yeah, because they know their entire economy will collapse if we are like, no more work for you.
And Trudeau tried to be manly about it. He said no.
Yeah, that was so funny. And then he immediately capitulates. It's like, okay, never mind. We'll give in.
Yep. And immediately changed his mind. I'm still not the biggest fan of free trade, Jack. I think it hurts countries.
Yeah.
But at least it's a better deal than NAFTA was. NAFTA was just shit.
That was a garbage deal that just signed away so much of our business.
That was some bullshit European crap.
Yeah, and it destroyed a lot of what we had here. Almost all our manufacturing was annihilated because of that.
Yep.
And they were buying it in a very big way. Unlike the establishment globalists in this race, I've been an unwavering warrior for Iowa ethanol, and I will remain your ethanol champion. Very important.
I'm not a fan of ethanol.
No, I'm not either. It's dumb.
But again, he's not wrong. He did champion it, and I guess good for him. Cast One, thank you. Indictments against Trump feel dirty, scary dirty, less about the charges, more about how okay people are with it, like it will never go the other way. The charges against Trump are trumped up bullshit. I mean, even with the stuff that Jack Smith came down with, he's having to make all these weird things to make it work. It's nonsensical. And the only reason they're doing it is to try to stop him from being reelected.
Yep. And some of them will probably work because DC, they hate Trump.
I don't care what you think about Trump, but if we're being honest, this is only happening because he's running for president.
Yeah.
They tried doing this with the impeachment. They told us that the second impeachment, their goal there was to keep him from ever being president again.
Important to your economy. Ron DeSantis has aggressively fought against ethanol, which I think would be devastating for Iowa. He fights against it all the time. As president, I issued a rule declaring all E15 would be made available all year round, and you could reutilize your pumps and all of the existing equipment, which is saving hundreds of millions of dollars for your state. And I dramatically increased the number of fueling pumps where E15 could be sold all across the country. We were really great for ethanol. I staunchly defended Iowa's first in the nation caucuses and was responsible for keeping you as first in the nation. Without me, you would not be first in the nation right now.
Another one of those Iowa talking points. I don't mind him with the other ones, but that whole first in the nation shit, I don't really care.
Yeah. No, that's local crap.
Yeah.
They have to keep an eye on the national ball because everybody's watching this, not just Iowa.
I don't want primaries all on the same day. I like that it's drug out over months, so you get to see how the candidates react and stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't think it would be a big deal if, like, they kind of did it like the Super Bowl, right? It's like, okay, next year we're going to do it in Miami. You know, we'll do it in Florida, and then the 4 years after that, we'll do it in Nebraska. I don't really care where they do it, but it plays well in Iowa, which is where he's at.
Yeah.
Oh, Alan in chat is on his period. Don't worry, man. Hot water bottle, a little bit of aspirin, you'll feel fine.
I created the strongest border in U.S. history, built nearly 500 miles of border wall, then wanted to add another 200 miles. We had the fence all built, and the wall was built. It was ready to go up. And when Biden got in, they didn't do it. That's when we first realized this guy actually wanted open borders where people pour into our country.
Okay, we knew before that. We knew during the campaign.
Yeah.
I get what he's saying. That was proof positive, but we knew. I mean, come on.
And many of those people come out of prisons and mental institutions. And terrorists, and it's a terrible thing that they've allowed to happen to our country. We'll turn that around very fast. Under my leadership, we created the greatest economy in the history of the world, the greatest. And in fact, I actually did it twice, as you very well know. I appointed over 300 federal judges and 3 great Supreme Court justices.
He does have stuff to brag about, man.
Yeah. Yeah. He got a lot done that just wasn't really talked about.
Mm-hmm.
And last year, those justices, and you know exactly what they did, they ruled to end Roe v. Wade, and now pro-lifers have a tremendous power to negotiate. We gave them a tremendous power to negotiate, which they didn't have until this term.
Real quick, Alan says name one. Clean the shit out of your ears. I've already said several.
Took place. This moves the issue back to the states.
It's been a while since we had a retard in chat. I've missed them.
Most of our chat is lovely.
Yeah. I like when we get a tard now and then. Anyway, I'm sorry. Back to him.
We're all legal scholars, whether you believe in it or not in it. They felt it should be. And like Ronald Reagan, I support exceptions for rape, incest, and life of the mother. And remember, the Democrats are the radicals on this issue.
Yep.
Because they're willing to kill babies in their 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th month.
And beyond. Gas one, thank you. Like the Super Bowl, and here comes Bernie with a solid tackle on the left. Nearly fumbled the ticket. Stay tuned for more on ESC-SPAN. Well played. Well played.
They're willing to kill babies even after birth.
Yep.
And they are the extremists. They are the radicals. And politicians running for office cannot allow this to happen and cannot let them get away with what they do. They try and politicize that issue, and we can't let them get away. We did a phenomenal thing for our country and for life. I fully rebuilt the U.S. military, created Space Force, defeated ISIS, and was the first president in decades who didn't start a war. In fact, I got us out of those lingering, horrible 20-year wars.
True. Even though Biden fucked up the second one.
Oh, yeah. Well, Biden changed the goalpost.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't even just move it. Like, he took it out and replaced it with a whole new thing.
Trump had the groundwork laid, and Biden was like, I can fuck that up, and he did.
Yep.
We were getting out of Afghanistan very powerfully with dignity and strength. In fact, I spoke to the leader of the Taliban, and from that time on, not one American soldier was killed. 18 months, not one soldier was killed until Biden came along and ended up giving them $85 billion worth of equipment, left many Americans behind. We lost 13 incredible lives and many, many badly wounded. The most embarrassing, I think, moment in the history of our country. And because of that, I believe that was the incentive for Vladimir Putin to invade Ukraine when he...
Wow. Wow. Again, I don't think that that's what gave him the go ahead. You know, we saw, who was it? Nikki Haley, the first one we watched. She's talking about how the Afghan withdrawal being so fucked up is what pushed all of these other things to happen. Those were going to happen anyway, just because Biden was elected. Even if Afghanistan had gone perfectly, you know, planes rolling out, everybody was on, nobody hanging off the edge, hoping to get out, it was still going to happen because Biden's a fucking pussy.
Yeah, he's weak.
He's weak, and they know it.
Saw the incompetence of our military and our leadership more than anything else. The whole Afghanistan mess, what a shame it was. The 2024 election is our last shot to save America, and there's only one candidate, and you know who that candidate is, who's going to get the job done. And I'm going quickly because we're given 10 points and we're given 10 quick minutes. So I'm going
to. That is one thing I was wondering about this speech. 10 minutes for Trump. That's got to feel so constraining to him.
Yeah.
He loves to ramble more than I do.
To go quickly, but we did a lot of things. It's hard to do it that quickly. In the newest echelon poll of swing states, we're trouncing Biden by 7 points. In the big new premise poll, we're beating Biden 43-39, while DeSantis is losing to Biden 33-38. In other polls, I'm leading.
He keeps calling him DeSanctus.
Yeah, he's been calling him that the whole time.
I thought he was calling him DeSanctimonious.
No, he's shortened it up.
Okay. Most of the other candidates didn't do this, and they don't. It's a very Trumpian thing, and I don't have a problem with him doing it. Him taking shots at DeSantis, that's what Trump did all through 2016. Whoever was the next, closest to him, beat on him till they drop out. And it's what he does. I don't have a problem with it. The problem that they do run into, and we saw this in 2016, is that some of the candidates panic. And as their campaigns are imploding, it's like, now I'll fight back against him. And instead of looking strong, it looks like a desperation move.
Yeah.
So you guys haven't been doing it yet. You just have to put up with it. Ron, sorry, you should have fought back already. Anyway.
Biden by 6, 7, 8, and 11 points, while DeSantis is losing to Biden in all cases. I wouldn't take a chance on that one. I'm leading in the primary polls by 50 and 55% against him and others. And a poll just came out where I'm leading in Iowa. We love Iowa by 34 points. I'm leading in New Hampshire by 35 points. And I'm leading in South Carolina by over 30 points. And that's with 2 politicians running, as you know, from.
This is not a good point. I mean, you got a little clap there for the Iowa thing, but bragging about your poll numbers, you should be talking about stick with the achievements.
Yeah, that's much better.
Yeah.
But you know how Trump is. He's a big personality. He's got to talk about himself.
He's got to brag, yeah.
South Carolina, leading by substantially more than 30 points. And a poll just came out a few minutes before I got up here. And in Ohio, the great state of Ohio, we're leading by 52 points and beating Biden by 10 points. That's what we have to do.
Excuse me. Pointing out that he's beating Biden, that's cool. Pointing out the primary ones, that's where I have an issue, because that's meaningless. Everybody knows you're ahead.
Yeah.
Really push the point that, hey, I'm the one who can beat Biden right now. That's what all the polls say. And if he wanted to do that, DeSantis is losing to him, that's one thing. But in the Republican primary, that's icky.
I'm the only Republican to win Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania in more than 30 years,
True.
And you have to win them. Nationwide, we flipped 200 counties that voted twice for Barack Hussein Obama, including an astounding 31 counties right here in Iowa. These are counties that never went for Republicans, and they went for me. And despite 4 years of deranged opposition, we did even better the second time than we did the first time, getting more votes in 2020 than any sitting president in the history of the United States.
True.
They rigged the presidential election in 2020. We're not going to allow them to rig the presidential election of 2024. They used COVID to cheat. With your vote, I will fight for Iowa like no one else is going to fight. And I've already proven that. I don't think anybody's proven it like I have. I will obliterate the deep state. We will say no on 87,000 IRS agents who want to take your money, and much worse than that. They want to weaponize the IRS just like they've weaponized the Justice Department and the FBI. And by the way, if I weren't running, I would have nobody coming after me.
100%.
Yeah.
Or if I was losing by a lot, I would have nobody
True.
coming after me. They wouldn't be coming after me. I immediately cancel every single open borders policy of the Biden administration and stop the invasion of criminals in many cases coming into our country. I had the safest.
He just did what DeSantis did there. He talked about that already.
Yeah.
If you're going to bring it up, just do it all in one chunk. But if you've ever watched Trump's speeches, they are all over the place, but he usually has more than 10 minutes to do it.
Yeah, he tends to be very ADD, but he's more charismatic than DeSantis is, so he can
Yeah.
get away with it.
This border
Doesn't make it
in the
right. Just makes it the way it is.
history of our country, and we will do it again, and we'll get it done very quickly. On day one, I will sign an executive order to cut federal funding for any school pushing critical race theory, transgender insanity, and other inappropriate racial, sexual, or political content on children. I will.
That's good, but I still prefer Ramaswamy's. We'll just get rid of the Department of Education.
Yeah.
Keep men out of women's sports, and nobody's been tougher on that than me. How ridiculous is that? And I will sign a law prohibiting child sexual mutilation. Can you believe we even have to say this in all 50 states?
This is another one where that's great, but you're never going to get that law passed.
Yeah.
You need 60 in the Senate to do it because you're not going to have enough Democrats to join the Republicans on that. It'll be a party line vote. So I appreciate that he says it, but it's never going to come up.
I will fully secure our elections. I will defend the Judeo-Christian values of our nation's founding. I won Iowa twice by really a lot. We've set records, and together we will crush crooked Joe Biden, the most crooked president in the history of our country by far, and also grossly incompetent. Doesn't know what he's doing. He's destroying our country. We will win the election big, and we will make America great again. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
He should have said we're gonna win and it's gonna be huge. I needed one huge in there.
Yeah.
He's definitely getting the loudest responses. From what we saw, looking at the way people responded to the speeches. Well, let's start with Trump. It's not a great speech. If anybody else was giving it, you'd be like, what the fuck is he talking about? But he's Trump, and he can pull that off. Like you said a moment ago, he can pull it off. He's got the charisma to do it. And he talked about a lot of his accomplishments there, which he has the right to brag about.
Yeah.
And he did give us some stuff that he would do, which is what you want in these kind of speeches. You didn't really see that from somebody like Nikki Haley. Hers was just so bland. But if you're looking at the responses, again, we didn't watch everybody, but Ramaswamy, DeSantis, and Trump were the ones who got the best responses.
Yeah.
And I would say deservedly so. They had the best speeches of the ones we watched. What'd you think?
I think Vivek was probably the best, followed by Trump. But obviously that's what I want to hear. So I think DeSantis needs to work on his speech writing.
I think he needs to work on delivery a bit too.
Yeah, but I think that you could tailor speeches to somebody's speaking style. So he needs a better speechwriter.
He sounded more slurry than in 2020. He's not Biden. He's still old, makes me a little uneasy. Frosted, here's what I'll say about that. This is Trump trying to give a 20 minutes or a 10-minute speech. He was trying to go fast. I will give him a little leeway on that. If this was one of his normal speeches, where he talks for 2 hours, and he was, because he did, there were some of the ones where he did slur a little bit. But I think that's just because he's going fast and not an age thing like with Biden.
Yeah, I think he's trying to remember to wedge as much in as possible.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, his age is definitely a factor. So there's that. That's why his VP choice is so critical.
Nuts ass, was Pence there? Yes, Pence was there. We watched his speech. It was
boring as shit.
It was boring, and all he did is sit there and suck up. Let's see, sucked up to Iowa repeatedly.
Yeah.
Mentioned his wife, his kids, got his claps for those. And then just the rest of it was pretty boring. So it was Pence. He got more claps than I thought he would.
Yeah, he thought he was going to get a lot more than he did, though.
Yeah, definitely. Man, that was an interesting night. the only one of them I'd vote for based solely on that would be Vivek.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely.
If it was like, okay, it's either this one or Joe Biden, probably vote for every one of them. But Vivek's the one. I mean, he has the message that I want to hear. Does that mean he'd be able to do it? I don't know. But the others gave pretty standard speeches. Both Trump and DeSantis did good with their basic stump speech for what it was.
Mm-hmm.
DeSantis really needs to work on his delivery. He is so stiff.
Yeah.
And Trump, again, this is just not his format. He needs a lot longer than 10 minutes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. He likes to go all over the place.
Vivek would be a good vice president. I know everybody keeps saying that, but he would be the best president if he of all of them, if they could do exactly what they said. If every one of them, we know for a fact when they got in there, they would do exactly what they said. The best candidate would be Vivek.
Yeah, yeah, but unfortunately, it's not. He doesn't have the name recognition.
Yeah. Alfarius, thank you so much. Based Vivek. Oh, dude, he was awesome. I'm not kidding. I was getting goosebumps, man.
Yeah, you don't have a lot of candidates that actually go out on a limb like that. Look at how safe Pence played it.
Yeah. And I mean, to a point, same with Trump and DeSantis.
Yeah.
Vivek just comes out and like, fuck the FBI, the ATF, the Department of Education. Fuck these guys. We're getting rid of them. Like, yes. Say more like that, but slow down just a little bit.
Tell me how pretty I am.
Yeah. I'm severely disappointed in our media that this didn't get more coverage. This is a major thing.
Yeah, of course.
You had most of the Republican field. One of these people has a good chance to be the next president of the United States.
Oh yeah, but that's exactly why they didn't cover it. They got to run interference for old dum dum.
Eaton, thank you so much. Who says chicken shawarma was based as fuck.
Wow. You guys are making me hungry.
That dude needs to cut his hair though. That looks ridiculous.
You know what? I can handle his sucralose hair as long as he's in office.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Once he's in office, he can grow the Ronald McDonald thing he's got going on in his head. But Jesus. So, Jack, was there any of the stories you really wanted to hit
on? Let's hit that last one. 04I, I think it is.
Oh, I do want to talk. We will hit that, but I do want to talk briefly about Pearl. I think I might bring her up tomorrow. I watched her little video where she said she was blindsided by what's his name, Piers Morgan. It was some whiny bullshit, and she said she was being brought on to talk about cancel culture, but they said Piers was going to be on her side. You got brought on right after you made that stupid song, and you didn't think that was going to be brought up. You knew it was about cancel culture, really? And she repeated the line about how she was talking about Ye. And then I watched Roaming Millennial, Lauren Chen, react to the whole thing. And she said it was about Ye, not Nick Fuentes. Why do you keep bringing up Nick Fuentes? Because it was about Fuentes.
Yeah.
I even looked it up, Jack. The Ye thing was back in December. The Nick Fuentes thing was a week before that ugly bitch wrote her song. Which one do you think it was really about? I was getting so annoyed at these people. Oh, fuck. Like, pay attention or don't talk about it if you don't fucking know. Why does it look like I've already clicked this link? It's already purple.
Because you've read the article before.
Oh, yeah, because you sent it to me. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is fucking stupid. Andrew Tate. launches his own comic book series with a ridiculous price tag. Guys, how much do you think it is? I'm not, if you know, don't say, but how much do you think he's charging for this comic book? It's a comic book. It's not even that thick from what I can see, Jack.
No, it's really not.
Take a guess, guys. How much would this guy charge for a comic book?
They said ridiculous price tag. So
a couple people got it. $100. $100. You know, 69 would have been better. That you're right, Divine. Over
whatever Bugatti costs,
right?
To beat hookers. Those are good guesses.
Over the years, Andrew Tate has put his time into many business ventures. From his Hustlers University business courses meant to teach others how to make more money to helping operate casinos in Romania. The man certainly has an eye for business at times. You left out the hoeing.
The human trafficking.
How come you ain't bring up the pimping? And look, I'm not talking about any of his charges. I'm talking about when he had his webcam girls and he was pimping them out. That's what he did. Following his release from custody of Romanian authorities, Tate has returned to content creation, has been looking for new opportunities. However, his most recent business venture is a bit bizarre. On July 27th, Andrew Tate announced his very own Top G comic series and revealed the stories about him fighting against the forces of the Matrix and corporate tyranny. Him and his fucking Matrix, man. The Matrix is almost more overused than Harry Potter.
Yeah. It's been around longer too, so it's got like a legacy of being overused.
The Matrix, corporate tyranny, and what appears to be a somewhat autobiographical story. However, the real head scratcher is the $97 price tag,
which does not include shipping.
On Andrew Tate's official landing site for DNG Comics, the label under which he's publishing the Top G comic, there are some details about what exactly these comics will be about. The site certainly isn't shy about the fact that the comic is about Tate and his struggles in recent times. Is there going to be a part where he's got to slap a bitch up because she didn't give him his money?
Maybe.
I hope so. Tate explained the story in the comic is meant to tell about his ongoing fight with the Matrix. They don't want you to know the truth. They want you living in a mental cage, chained by a weak mindset, not banging trannies when there's ugly chicks around. I became the superhero of the youth by telling the truth and teaching young men to be strong. And now I am being punished for it in real time. Bruh, that is not what you're being punished for.
No, the human trafficking stuff.
These stories reflect the harsh truths of the Matrix, how I escaped it, and what I predict they will try next. He's already told us that. He told us the next thing they're going to try is to try to kill him.
Yeah. But he's got superpowers now.
They're gonna shoot Andrew Tate because he's that fucking important. Vivek Ramaswamy, dude, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna end up in prison because the more stuff that comes out about his charges and stuff, Jack, the more that motherfucker's going to prison.
Well, I mean, he's said a lot of things on video that's going to get admitted into court. So,
well, you remember that there was that video where the two girls came out to defend him. That dumbass got caught setting that up on prison phones. They didn't come out of their own volition to support him. That was set up.
Hate fact.
With his bottom bitch, who he started dating when she was 15.
Hate fact.
Yeah. So, anyhow, guys, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. I enjoy these ones where we get to actually look at the politicians saying what they're going to do. Frankly, that's the most I've seen of these guys actually giving some kind of indication of what they will do. And the weird thing is, did you notice that Pence didn't really give us anything about what he would do?
No, why would he? He's too milquetoast for that.
I mean, he gave us a little bit. I'll secure the border. Shut up. But yeah, most of the candidates that you can tell they're not serious about the run because they don't even have a fucking clue about what they're doing.
No, it's just some sort of money scam.
But guys, we're going to end this one here. We're at 3 hours, which actually, Jack, I'm surprised it was that short given how many videos we watched.
Yeah, and we didn't even watch them all.
No. I will fix the links in the description for those of you who are wanting to see more of those or watch them without me interrupting. Special thanks to that Right Side Broadcasting Network, I think is what it was, for actually making those available because so many other places haven't. I'm so pissed off that like C-SPAN didn't have this.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised.
I'm annoyed. These are presidential candidates, and they're hiding them. Like, it's not where that Trump's going to get it. Trump will probably get it. Let's be honest, but at least some of these guys do have something to say, and one of them is going to has a very good chance of being president. Thank you, Frosted Glass. Ordering my Vivek body pillow now. Guys, thanks for coming and hanging out with us. Thank you so very much for the donations. You guys are awesome. Don't forget to tell your friends, your family, that bitch you hate. Get them here watching. Thumbs up on the way out if you haven't already. Jack, anything you want to show?
No, I didn't get anything done today. So,
that's awesome.
Thank you. I know. I'm pretty awesome like that. Thank you for the donations, though. You guys are awesome.
We will be on the game channel. Well, by we, I mean me. Here shortly. I don't know what I'm going to be playing. Probably 7 days again. We'd have a Horde night tonight if I play it. Wait. Bubba has a new schedule.
Oh, that's not cool.
Yeah, it's fucking my whole Phasmophobia thing up. So when I find him, I'll have to play that again. So probably going to do 7 days. Horde night, yeah, as long as the satellite holds up. Because we're on day 13, so we would get through day 14 as well. So we have one. Thank you guys for watching. Jack, a pleasure as always, my friend.
Always glad to be here.
I didn't tell him where to sit. Ranting Monkey Games here on YouTube. The link is in the description, as are our links for all of our channels. Jack has several. Make sure you're subscribed. Thank you, guys. Take care of yourselves. We'll see you next time.
Bye, everybody.
Vivek Ramaswamy, I want to hold you really tight. I'm not going to let you go. So there's no use in a fight. Just lay there and let me love you. It's all your fault anyway. You made my nipples hard with the things you had to say.